Good evening, gamers, and welcome to another exciting episode of Crime Fighting Luchadores. Tonight's episode is Moon Monkey Madness, Chapter 2 of Season 2. And at this point, I'm going to hand it over to our amazing referee, Eric.
When last we left off, the Luchador heroes, having defeated the mighty Gorilluna with their tag team super team attack, exited the cave in triumph, carrying off some of the clues and loot that they needed to account for what had happened here outside of Muscle City. And as they exited the cave that held the strange makeshift base of Gorilluna, the gorilla from outer space, a bright light suddenly shone down from the night sky, and a UFO descended from on high. And just in front of them all, outside of the mouth of the cave, a small crew of ray gun toting, space-suited monkeys dropped down out of the UFO and now stands before them. That's how we open our scene tonight in Mood Monkey Madness.
All right.
I'm ready.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Just to confirm, everyone's leveled up, right? We're level 2. And we you guys have reset your hero points and your resolve, right?
Yes.
Yes. Is everyone ready? All right. We're starting this a little bit maybe out of the canon, in that as we exit the cave, everyone should have their full restored hit points, their full hero points, and their full resolve points, and be ready to embark on a whole new adventure. So I'm sort of, passing the regular step of having a chance to go home and rest for a day or 2 or 3 or a week, and getting right into new action, Flash Gordon style.
Perfect.
Well, it's like when you shoot like a raider in Fallout, right? And that's your last little bit of XP. You level up. If you have damage, you immediately refill your bar. If you're fast enough, you can press start, pick a new perk, and then you're shooting the next guy, right? So
Exactly.
Yes. I'm replaying Fallout 4 right now. It's delightful.
Yeah, I'm doing that too.
Oh, woo! I'm thinking about getting deeper into mods, and I'm scared I'm gonna mess up my saves. Anyway, sorry to digress. So, having set the scene outside of Goriluna's cave, it's evening time now. The stars are out, and the bright moon, and 4 strange little monkeys appear before you. The monkeys are actual regular monkey-sized monkeys compared to your mighty wrestlers. These are tiny little 3-foot-high space-suited monkeys. On the front of all of their tiny little spacesuits are little disc speakers through which you can hear, surprisingly, little monkey voices actually talking to you. The first of them, who has kind of the meanest expression of them all, and bear with me a second, I'm just going to bring up my own little picture of that. And Dave, if you want, we could totally throw the space monkey's picture up on the screen if you care to do so. We don't have to. All right. Let me give a second for this to pop in for everybody to see.
Boom.
No.
All right. So there are our diminutive little space monkeys. The one named Gogo on the left seems to be the sort of acting leader. They move around, they move about with purpose and precision like little soldiers. And Gogo is obviously kind of a hyped up, sort of quick to menace you with his ray gun space monkey. And he is right now yelling at you to... Well, actually, he was yelling at you first with a question. You there! Are you the killers of Gorilluna? And the other, monkeys are like, ee, as soon as he says that name. And he's sort of waving his weird red ray gun pistol vaguely at the 4 of you as you emerge.
He was bad.
I'll say luchadors don't kill people. Neither do we kill monkeys. But we got him. We beat him good, and he's KO'd for sure.
And he turns to the other monkeys. And
You
they
want
all
some?
Go and the other monkeys look to each other, and they're all nodding and making this kind of monkey noises back and forth at each other. And then Go yells to the others, "Okay, it's them. Take them." And it is time for initiative.
Okay. So not much of a negotiator, is he?
No, it's
All right. Well, he seems to have quite a temper. All right. Who wants
Who
to
would like
roll
to roll for your
initiative?
team? Yeah, who's going to roll for the team of mighty heroes?
I can do it.
Woohoo! All right.
Okay. I rolled a 3, so
Hey,
that's
that's
a
it. You
fail.
guys win. Oh, is it not?
No,
Oh, 1,
no,
2, 3.
it's
The enemy goes first.
we need 4. We need 4
Right.
and over. So they got initiative.
Ooh, okay. So, as a like a little squad, the monkeys level their various sort of space guns at you and blast out one ray at each of you. I just want to give each of you, of course, as is the rule with crime fighting luchadors, a chance to try to leap aside and avoid the rays of the monkeys.
Okay, so we each have to dodge one ray.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. So this is, of course, a acrobatics roll, as you would imagine, and it's just to dodge the monkey rays.
I got an 8, so I pass.
Yes.
I dodge out of the way.
Yeah, I got an 11. I'm good.
Yes.
Got an 8.
Nice.
And I got a
Okay.
9.
All right.
Okay, so all of you, heroes that you are, leap aside as their beams shine out of their guns. And what you see they do is variously behind you in the cave, rocks that were behind you, maybe boulders, even larger ones, like the ones the size of a whole man, are caught up in the ray and they rise up off the ground, sort of hovering and floating about, held in the rays as the monkeys fire. They each missed you, so they seem to be wielding some kind of levitation rays.
Okay.
But
Interesting.
that was their big attempt to attack, and now I believe there might be a rebuttal coming for them.
Yeah. Who wants to go first?
It's monkey clobbering time.
It's monkey clobbering time. I can go. I'll do a regular attack for starters.
Woohoo!
That's a miss 6. We'll use 2 resolve points to make it
Nice.
an 8.
Yes.
So I succeed. And with that, I have 3 resolve points left, and the damage. Now that I'm level 2, I deal 4 damage.
Nice. Oh, is there gosh, there are 4 monkeys. Only one has actually spoken to you. The other 3 just seem to be soldiers. Did you have one that you wanted to attack, or just anyone is fine?
Oh well, I'll hit the boss. He's the one that started the brawl. So yeah.
Nice. Perfect. So Go gets clobbered immediately. As you saw, most, with the exception of Bobo, their little space helmets don't actually really protect most of their faces, like their jaws. And when you clobber them with a sock to the jaw, Go stiffens up and falls over backwards, knocked out.
Yeah, by an uppercut. So an uppercut
nice.
that sends him maybe flying like a meter back, and he falls on his back. All right.
it is all your chance, your time to attack. But I'll say that the other three monkeys kind of, not set down on the ground, but put down their rifles and are like looking over at the fallen Go-Go, and they all are looking around, and you're like, what just happened?
Maybe they're reconsidering their life choices.
Yes, they do seem to be reconsidering, like, what the
Should have
heck?
listened to mom and stayed in school.
Yes, very much. Well, who's going next?
I can go quickly. So I will. I've got my large stick that I acquired last time.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna run at Bobo, the big one, and try to smash him in the chest.
Nice. Okay.
So yeah, that's an 8.
Woo! Total success. All right.
So my
How
damage
much?
would be.
It's your level 2. How much damage do you do with your stick?
7. I'm a brute. So I think that's 9.
Oh, my
Holy
goodness.
crap.
3.
He's eaten
6.
by a
No,
ton of bricks.
no. 6. 8.
Woo.
Sorry,
Oh.
8.
Nice.
Oh,
Well,
God.
I have to admit, Bobo, being like a 3.5-foot tall monkey, probably weighs something in the neighborhood of 60 pounds or so. But when you hit him with that effectively Bam Bam club, he, like his predecessor Go-Go, also gets sent flying backwards. And you can see an expression on his face like, huh? As he falls and lands and skids across the sand of the little Badlands here outside the cave. And it doesn't look like he's getting up. His little arms are spread out, his legs are spread out, his little monkey tail is curled up, and he is not moving or getting up or anything. If this were a cartoon, there'd be birds flying around his head. Ooh. Ah, man. So Momo and Jojo, the two of the smallest monkeys of the group, are all that's left.
You want to go, Matt, or?
Yeah, I'll go. So I'll say to him, so you two want to just surrender? Got that
Both of them
opportunity.
immediately throw down their weapons. Like they don't even hesitate for a moment. Their weapons clatter onto the sand and stones in front of them. And they're like, and they hold up their little monkey hands. They're like, hey, we were just following orders. It comes out of Momo, the little red suited one. His little suit is, we were just following orders. The queen invites you to come and help save the mighty Moon Kingdom from calamitous disaster.
Well, you have a weird way of asking for favors. You might rethink your approach a little bit next time.
Jojo, the green-suited one on the other end, is like, Gogo's kind of a jerk. He's kind of always like that.
Okay. What's the threat planning over your kingdom? I mean, why do you need us?
Well, there's gorillas, and that's Jojo, and then Momo is like, it's kind of like we could use some big burly help against some big bullies, basically.
Okay, so you're at war with gorillas?
Yeah. They both kind of sheepishly nod and look at each other like, yeah.
Oh. Like was the one that we beat up just before you guys arrived affiliated with them in some fashion?
Well, I don't know if we're supposed to say. can we give you a lift? And he gestures up towards their flying saucer.
I mean, these seem pretty harmless now. What do you guys think?
I say we go kick some ass.
Yeah, you even you didn't have a chance to knock out anyone. Maybe you're itching for a fight.
Yeah, I just start scratching behind one of my horns, and I'm like,
okay, so let's we follow them.
Ah, great.
Sure.
Hang on. And he and Momo run over and heavingly drag Gogo and Bobo back over underneath the flying
Okay.
saucer.
I'll play nice and take one and throw him over my shoulder to help them carry the unconscious monkeys.
Okay. The Momo and Jojo run over and gingerly pick up their little space rifles, and then one of them reaches into his little cosmic suit and pulls out what looks like a sort of kazoo-shaped plastic whistle and blows on it, and then a beam of gold light shines down from the flying saucer, and you all slowly rise up into it, alien abduction style. And sort of a little
Nice.
bottom, sphincter, steel sphincter thing opens up and you're all in there. And man, I have to admit, so the UFO that you come into is all built for these monkeys. And so the room you come into has a ceiling that's like 4 feet high.
So
Which for
Brick,
them is like an extra, head length foot above their heads. So, it's
Brick
kind of,
is like maybe folded in two.
you all are cramped up, like sitting in the back of a Volkswagen Beetle. And once everybody's safely inside, the inside of this UFO is kind of just like one big room, and they each have little like sort of stations that they go to and do. Like one of them looks like it might be like a little radio and communication station, and the other is clearly like the navigation one. So Momo, the red suited one, goes over there and kind of waddles over on his little hand feet, and there's only 4 buttons on this console. And he just hits the second one, and off the UFO goes. There's a slight sensation of shifting and moving for a second. And then looking out of the glass dome bubble that's the top of the UFO, you can just see the stars and the clouds rush at you, and the clouds, rush past the UFO as it quickly zips up out of the Earth's atmosphere, and in moments is hurtling towards the moon. Now let's see. So, when it travels, it sort of is traveling at the moon at what we would think of as top of the saucer up. So it doesn't really fly horizontally, but rather the floor is kind of, facing the Earth and the top of it's facing the moon. So, Dave, there is a second image that's kind of like a little map of the moon in black and white.
Oh yeah.
I will get that up here in
Yay!
1 second.
All right. So, during the trip, which I admit is short, you guys all have a chance to look at there we are, to look at the inside of this spaceship, and something that, heck, I mean, well, let's do this. Whoever would like to can do a brains check, sort of investigating the interior of the spaceship.
I think that's a job for Lumen, probably.
Lumen!
Okay. Yeah, so Lumen will poke around.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, this is just, those 4 buttons are way too complicated for me.
Okay.
All
Well, can we try also?
Anyone who wishes can take a look around and notice something.
I've got an 8, so unmodified 8, so that's a success.
Ooh, okay. So, having a chance to look around, you recognize that, well, hold on a minute. All of the material of the inside of this UFO is, I can describe this in no other way than clearly 1950s space technology. Like it really, it looks like the inside of a UFO from a 1950s movie.
Or the
It's,
Jetsons, maybe.
yeah, it's all like you can see the little like rivets where the control panels were kind of put together like in a factory and everything. And the controls are big, kind of late stage, vacuum tube, early stage transistor radio, like big controls in that 1950s style. And then finally, and this will result in a clue. You will
Oh.
notice that there's actually let's make up an aerospace company that could have existed on Earth in the 1950s, but I don't want to mess with anyone's copyright and stuff. But almost like a Raytheon or a NASA,
A Pat Corporation.
yeah, like on it. So what you're inside is a weird UFO made in the 1950s on Earth by an Earth corporation or something. Or,
With lots
maybe,
of blinking lights.
yeah, lots of little blinking lights, most of which aren't even labeled.
that serve a mysterious purpose, if
Yes.
any.
What does it even mean?
It looks sci-fi-ish.
I really, in my head, I keep thinking of Gargantua 1 from the Venture Brothers.
Yeah.
Looks like the interior of Gargantua 1 from the Venture Brothers. We're just like, are you kidding? There's a red light with no label on this computer. So shortly, as this UFO zips faster than light towards the moon, out of the top bubble, you can see the lunar surface approaching. It's the day side that you're going to, and down below you in this little picture we have over to the right there, you can actually see the little craters and a couple of small like lunar bases or stations down there. There's one there sort of at the bottom and then at the top, 3 in a row with a row of what look like very old, very solid state solar panels that are massive, like the size of football fields are up there. And your UFO races toward the leftmost of those 3 at the top. Whew, okay.
So we pass over the first
yeah,
one?
There it is. Yeah, there's one at the bottom, and you kind of fly over past that and head towards this little set. Well, as you get closer, you can even see there's little like tracks or driven like roadways between the 3. You can see the little dots there now that we're zoomed in on that picture, where it looks as though, some sort of vehicles have driven from one to the other, back and forth a few times, maybe many times. Whew, okay. Not long from then, you descend, and as you descend, the UFO sort of flips over so that now, out of the bubble at the top, all you can see is open outer space.
But we're not. Are we able to breathe in space? Because we don't have any space.
I mean to say it's a glass dome, so you can just sort of see through
we're
it.
under. There's a glass dome over the station.
Actually, over the top of the UFO, out of which you saw this thing, and now it's turned so that its bottom is toward and it's descending towards the space station. So for a moment, all you see is open space, and then you can see it descend into one of the domes of this station, and the big dome kind of closes shut like an observatory dome might after your UFO lands in it. Okay. Right about this time, the bear with me, Gogo and Bobo are sort of waking up from getting punched out by you guys. And during the trip, Jojo stored everyone's rifles away in a nice little cabinet that was made for doing so, and locked it up and everything. Everything has like maybe an American naval vessel might, like a little spot for it to go. And so when you land, they kind of wake up, and Gogo looks around and is like, "Oh, right then." So, and he kind of climbs groggily to his feet. He's like, "You guys," and he points the finger at all of you guys. "Follow me," and jerks a thumb at himself, and then a little the sort of a disc-shaped part of the floor sort of descends out a few feet from the UFO, and you can all we're all sort of on it, and it just takes you down to the floor, the inside of this part of the space station. Unfortunately, the UFO's bottom is still only 4 feet above the ground, so you have to sort of crouch your way out from underneath the thing to get to where you can stand up. But thank goodness, the inside of this UFO hangar is many, many feet high, and there's plenty of room to stand and walk about freely as normal men. Whew. Once again, you are now surrounded. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, is there artificial gravity under the dome?
There is low gravity here.
Okay.
So you find kind of quickly that you can make tremendous leaps if anyone cares to get frisky. And
hell yeah.
and everyone feels very light. I think you're a third of your normal weight or something.
Awesome.
Yeah, so talking about, I mean, honestly, one of you could probably tip over the UFO over you at its current weight. So inside here, you can see a strange little space station. Looking around, you can kind of tell that everything here was built for monkeys. In fact, so much so that next to all of the incredibly simplistic control panels, most of which have big kind of Fisher-Price smash buttons, that you can kind of hit with a fist. One of the Jojo, the green-suited monkey, who really doesn't talk very much, but who you didn't punch out, walks over to one of them and then, kind of hammer fists one of the buttons, and a banana drops into a little stock holder next to it, and he raises the little plastic window and takes out a banana and begins to eat it there. Now, Gogo is the blue-suited guy is all like, "Follow me." And he starts striding, like a big man over to the one of the doors that leads out. So looking at this room, you're sort of in a big circular room. There is one kind of one big raised UFO landing pad in the middle. There are 4 sets of little stairs that go down, kind of made for monkey legs. So they're very, very short steps. And then kind of a bigger area where you can see little monkey-sized push carts for maintenance with, identifiable things like wrenches and drills on them and that kind of stuff. Basically, UFO maintenance carts. And there's 2 doors leading out. They both seem to be sort of, bisected metal doors with little portal circles in them at monkey face height. And as you approach, or I should say first, as Gogo approaches them, they'll open up in front of him Star Trek style with an audible 1950s pneumatic sound. The door will require you guys to duck a little, but you're glad to see that the corridor beyond is also tall enough for a human man to walk in. All right. Do you want to follow Gogo or do anything else? You're completely free to do as you please.
Well, we followed him this far, so I think we should keep on following and get to meet the Queen. I guess that's where we're headed.
Yeah, it seems, he did, or I shouldn't say he, Momo mentioned an invitation from the Queen to come to the Kingdom of the Moon. Kingdom is kind of a strange way of putting it, but yeah, down the monkey corridors you'll go then. And fortunately, this place isn't super big. So you find yourself rounding about. You enter into what appears to be a large sort of monkey galley where a couple of, again, sort of space-suited monkeys are eating sort of a gruely looking paste out of Melmac, tiny trays. And there's another monkey with a rolling mop bucket who's actually like, mopping up the floor over in the corner. And unless you want to stop for any reason, you'll be led right through the dining area or mess hall down another corridor, which finally has a side corridor, which over it in English says command center in big, bold, capital letters. And down the short corridor you go to enter into the, monkey brain center of this whole thing. And Dave, if you wouldn't mind, could we show the picture of the sort of monkey throne room that is among the many things? It's kind of very purple and pink looking.
So all the technology around us seems to be human-made, like retro human-made, right?
It does.
Did you send me that one? You said a purple and pink image?
Well, it kind of is. Yeah, hold on. I will go and just make sure that I have, my friend. Here we go.
I didn't see it when I was downloading them.
No, hold on. How did I send those to you? Was it via
Facebook?
Oh, but did I send it from my other? Yes, hold on. I had to switch over to my other profile. Bear with me. There we go. Bum, 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 bum. There we go.
See if I completely missed it.
Oh, I hope not. Maybe it didn't send. I need to go make sure that it did. Mr. Dave Townsend, here we go. And coming back up to the, I don't see it either. Well, may I send you one right now on the spot?
Yeah, absolutely.
No waiting. Okay. And here we go. Boop. And there we are via Facebook Messenger. A fresh new image has just been added.
All right. Give me one quick second here.
Woohoo! Sorry about the delay, everybody. I have only myself to blame. I had meant to send that earlier.
Well, you had some computer problems.
Oh my gosh, yes, I did. But I overcame them with the help of Linux, thank goodness. There we go, yes.
I'm so afraid of accidentally closing the stream.
Yes.
So I'm just being extra careful.
Yeah.
Okay, so while we're waiting for the picture, I'll ask the monkeys about the origin of their technology and how the moon base came to be, and because I'm intrigued about the fact that they speak English and that they seem to have their origin from some earthly space program. Oh, that seems familiar.
That is the command center, and there on the little throne is a tiny female monkey wearing a golden crown that seems to have been built to settle on top of her little space helmet.
Awesome.
I should have added these in with Photoshop, but I didn't. But I want you to imagine little monkey seated in all the little seats around her there, busily doing monkey computer business.
Monkey business.
Monkey business, exactly. And so, as the swoosh doors open and in you all are led and get to stand your full height, you can see her down there. And what she seems to be doing is screeching in monkey at all the monkeys and waving her pistol around. And over on the right-hand side, sort of just off of this picture, imagine that there seems to be a laser blasted monkey lying smoking on the ground. And she still seems to be in midstream of screeching at them, like actually making cartoon monkey sounds at them all as you all come in. Once the four of you have entered, Now, you had asked a question of Gogo, and the others are behind you. And Bobo, sort of the big smiling-faced one that was hit in the chest with a large bloody stick, is saying to Gogo, "We're not supposed to say nothing. You're about to be giving stuff away." He has a very weird accent. So, when the queen notices that you've all arrived, when you come to your full height over there, you can see her tuck aside her blaster pistol, as all her other monkeys seem to be furiously working, having just been yelled at. And in your minds, you can all hear the monkey queen's voice via telepathy.
Ooh.
"Welcome to the kingdom of the moon, my friends," she says. "You may approach." And she gestures with her. At this point, you can see that on her fingernails are painted bright red, and she's wearing bright red lipstick as well. I guess unless anyone wishes not to approach, we'll sort of move into more of the center of the room, if that's all right.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Okay, so moving forward, when you reach the middle there, you're sort of like almost standing at the same eye level, or she's just raised a little bit above you on her chair, given that the short dais itself is only like 4 feet tall, and then her chair sits up an extra foot. So you can see her punch in some little controls, and her seat raises up another foot. And then she is like, "Behold the grand kingdom of the moon. You heroes have been selected from the earth," she says, in a sort of horrible way, "to gain mighty glory in the name of me, the queen of the moon. So," and she hops down off of her little weird pink butterfly throne and sort of knuckle walks over to the edge of the stairs that lead down. And "I would know your names. Who is it that is assembled before me?" She looks first at the kid, perhaps the most curious looking among you.
I'm the kid.
Hi, Majesty. I'm Shooting Star.
Oh,
Real deal brick steel at your service, Your Majesty.
nice.
I am the Lumen.
You two, Shooting Star, Lumen, you do not look like the regular riff-raff from the earth.
Well, I have been gifted some powers from another space species that I had the pleasure and the honor of meeting in previous adventures.
Oh.
But I've never encountered anyone from your species yet.
She sort of sideways monkey scampers down the little 5 steps to her dais and swooshes on over to you. You can smell that she is wearing a very strong, like lilac perfume. It seems to have been generously applied. And you can see her reach out and kind of feel the fabric, like kind of pinch the fabric of your suit. It's like, oh, rich. Well,
Yes, it's one of a kind.
Mr. Steele, I did not mean that thing I said about the riff-raff from Earth. I'm sure, and she pats your knee, I'm sure you're quite the grand personage among your people. And then she
Quite.
knuckle walks over to the kid and is sniffing you with her monkey nose. She's like, Yes, goatee. And let's. Yes, the audience is finished, and she turns around and scampers back up the stairs. I mean, kind of like a monkey in a monkey house with no decorum whatsoever. Just side scampers right up the stairs and then leaps up into the seat and then spins around on it all willy nilly, and settles back down onto it, looking down at everyone. Our shared enemy, the Soviet Union, has, in their jealous battle against the grand states that are united of America, etc., we the people ad infinitum, those Iron Curtain bureaucrats, have seen fit to one up the great majesty of the United States, e pluribus unum, give me your tired, etc. And their space program is all gorillas.
Oh, I see.
For many years, relationships have been strained but cordial between us, and now they have committed an overt act of war. They have taken one of our facilities for their own reeking gorilla uses. I can only imagine the stench. Now,
Are they established on the moon too?
she turns aside and looks ashamed. Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
And they been here as long as you?
Yes.
Okay. But the hostilities only started recently. Open hostilities, let's say.
What? Yes. One of the monkeys in the seats at the computer controls turns and says, "But Your Majesty, they actually were here when we arrived." And the queen immediately pulls out her blaster, turns and blasts him. And he falls smoking to the floor.
Okay.
Before she tucks it back away again. "Never mind that imbecile," she says to you. Now, it is as patriotic American freedom, benevolence, the flag, pledges of allegiance, and so on, etc. I am commandeering your mighty powers to rebut this terrible, terrible act of war that has been done before it can become a full-scale battle between our peoples. I would have you, and she stands up on her little monkey feet on the throne and puffs out her chest.
Okay. The shooting star will march up to the queen and sort of in not menacing way, but a very authoritative way, and say, "Your Majesty, if you're to represent the American way and you want you want our help, you're not gonna shoot your subjects when they disappoint or disobey. That's not the way we do things, and you're not gonna get good results from your soldiers if you treat them like worse than the enemy. So please refrain from using violence against your own subjects in our presence, or even when we're not around."
Do it again, and you get the stick.
The queen looks. What's the word? What's this word? Like someone who has just heard something she absolutely cannot believe. Like you might have just walked up and said, "This whole place is made of cheese," for the look on her face. And I need you, please, sir, if you would, to make a brains check.
Me, Brick, or both?
Just you strode forward and addressed her in such a manner.
I'm going to give you a hero point.
Oh,
thank you. Okay, thank you very much. So that means I roll 3 dice and add them all. So that's 9.
Woo!
So that's a success.
We can't let Queen Fleabag walk all over us here.
Nope.
Now, here's the crazy thing that happens. Before you know it, your right hand has balled up into a fist and is racing towards your own face before you stop it. With the effort of your will, she was mind controlling you right there. And only your mighty will saved it, like your fist quivers 6 inches from your own face for a second before you regain control of yourself. And you're like, hey, so,
okay, so
it appears the queen has mutant powers.
Okay, well, we got some powers of our own, and I'm not gonna be mind fucked by moon monkey. Whether she's a queen or not. So hey, you asked for heroes. We are heroes, and we don't act like this. If you scramble with you try to toy with my brain again, we give you the beating of your life. We pack our shit and we go back to Earth, and you deal with your own problems. Did you hear me? Okay,
we'll beam up to our space station and lock onto your location on the moon with a tri-vector torpedo. That's just like a big bluff.
And you can telepathically check if he's telling the truth or not.
So what happens next is you can see that she seems to be having an apoplectic fit of rage. So she's like, her little monkey face turns all red, and the monkey sitting down and to the right over there fist slams a bit. Oh, what did that say?
I'll be right back. I just didn't want to interrupt. I'll be right back.
The monkey fist slams a big button on his console, and a little sliding panel opens up, and inside it is sort of a little glass tiki bar drink that seems to be some kind of frozen drink with pineapple and maraschino cherries and an umbrella in it, and he snatches it instantly out of the little cubby that it appears in and scampers up the street as the queen is livid with rage and like pushes it into her hand, and then is petting her on the back with his other hand and is bowing down next to her. And now she's holding the drink and he's petting her on the back, and you can see her kind of regain control of herself. And she begins to breathe again, and then takes a sip jerkily of her drink and drains like half of the weird pina colada that's in there down. And then seems to regain her composure. And the monkey that served it to her kind of slinks back down the steps and back over into its chair, as though this is something it's had to do before. So
okay. Does she after the drink she seems to cool off a bit?
Yeah. I'm sure. I don't know what. I'm sure we don't know what came over us, she says. I apologize, she says, on behalf of the moon. As queen of these proud people, and all the monkeys sort of lazily raise up their right fist and say, hooray. I humbly ask that you sally forth as great heroes and smack down with how is that said? Extreme prejudice any and all apes that you might find in Outpost 4.
Okay, but if you want us to side with you, we'd like to hear what the gorillas have to say for themselves first, because they probably have a different version of things. And well, I'm not gonna attack them willy nilly without knowing what's going on. And if you treat everyone who disagrees with you with such untamed violence, maybe they have a point. So I'm willing to get to make an opinion for myself, but I'm not gonna attack another. Another gang of just because you disagree with them. I don't know what they've done to you. They attacked your outpost first, so that's what you say.
See, the queen's teeth are gritted. You can actually hear them grinding molar against molar as you address her in such a manner. And
I mean,
she
okay.
seems to be, and you would think that maybe this monkey is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
She doesn't seem balanced at all. I mean, most of the rest of the monkeys here seem pretty much like normal monkeys, but the monkey queen is just bonkers. Bonkers and capable of mind controlling any who oppose her. And you can see all the other monkeys look a little downtrodden by this.
Yeah,
So
they seems to they appear to be scared of her.
you would
Obviously.
say for sure that they seem to be scared of her.
Okay.
She's kind of gritting a thing, and she jams the little straw of the pina colada in her mouth and drains down the rest of it, and then takes a giant breath. And it is at that point you can hear the 1950s pneumatic swoosh doors in the back open up, and in saunters another space-suited monkey. But this monkey is wearing tiny cowboy boots and a tiny, what was it? A tiny kid's Howdy Doody hat. If you remember those the hats they used to give out to the kids in the audience, you know, the little white stuff wrapped around the rim. So a tiny space monkey cowboy has just strode into the room, and he takes a few bow-legged monkey steps into the room, and with a finger tips back his little monkey cowboy hat, and he says, "Now hold up there, missus," and he tips his hat to the queen. Old space lady here's got a point. And he saunters down. He walks exactly like sort of late career John Wayne with that weird bow-legged sideways kind of walk. And it appears perhaps affected. But anyway, he comes down the little stairs to join you guys down in the lower sort of middle part where all the monkeys are seated in their chairs. And he says, you know, it's going to be my job to get these boys out where they need to go. And you can see he's wearing little, again, like child's pop gun holsters on the outside of his spacesuit. And in each of them is a banana. So while he's talking, he picks up one of these bananas, twirls it around, and then begins to peel it. And he's like, "Now you just leave this to me, Your Majesty." And he kind of makes a finger pistol at her and winks. And you can see her like visibly swoon a little bit up there.
Okay. What's the name of this cowboy monkey?
Oh, yeah, it would be wrong if he didn't have one. Okay, so on his little monkey spacesuit is a name patch, and it says Earl on it.
So you're going to be our guide, Pilgrim?
"You're darn tootin'," he says, and he gestures at you with the banana before taking a big bite out of it. "You're going to have to cross that there sea of dust and whatnot twixt here and Outpost 4. And, well, you're going to need some suits and, you know, heck, if we can spare it," and he blinks adoringly over at the queen, maybe like a buggy and whatnot. And she's like, she waves her hand imperiously. So let it be written. And she turns around and walks back and climbs up onto her monkey throne, punches in some other buttons, and from the monkey throne rises another identical pina colada, which she immediately drinks half of. And you can see her visibly mellow out as a monkey, can't really maybe handle the booze of, 2 entire pina coladas, being that they weigh like 50 pounds. And
maybe a bit of a sugar rush too.
yes. And so she seems a bit more relaxed, and she kind of slumps back up in the seat and is like, yes, please help us, humans, please. We also need your mighty assistance.
I have one question for your majesty. Last
Mr.
night, Rey
Steele.
Mysterio Park, a bunch of innocent earthlings were abducted. That's how we got wrapped up in this mess. So what do you know, and what do your little hirelings around here know about those abductions?
She slams her hand down on another big button on the side of her throne and yells out, "Bring in the prisoners!" And it's apparently through loudspeakers throughout the entire monkey base, because you can hear it echoing around from beyond doors and what have you. And moments later, some monkeys come in, and they're leading like handcuffed and sheepish looking a little man from India and a little Asian man. And let's see who else was taking. Oh, and an extremely angry looking man in faded army surplus clothes.
Oh yeah, the survivalist guy.
Survivalist guy.
Okay.
So Bert, Ernie, and the private are led in here, and Bert is the first to say, "Oh man, I'm really sorry, guys. I'm really, really sorry." And Ernie is like, "Oh, we totally didn't mean for them to go down and get you too."
So why have you taken them as prisoners?
And then Earl turns and says, "Well, our illustrious Queenie here, once she figured out they weren't going to be no good up against them their gorillas, she was pretty hot-headed about the entire affair. First we had gone down, we was just like, well, get some big old humans. They're twice as tall as us. They'll show them apes a thing or two."
Yeah,
then-
well, we might be twice as tall as you, but we're not your slaves. We might have to do something about your government over here, because I'm not liking what I see.
Well,
Yeah, I suggest you make some reforms while we go take care of business, and when we get back, we can see what progress you've made. Or we'll make some for you.
the Queen. Okay.
Not so. We're not so. We're not so keen on royalty on Earth, and I'm starting to see why. So you don't take prisoners of our kind, and you don't try to trick us or force us to do your biddings. That's not how things work. And yeah,
Oh,
No
You liberate
more
the-
disintegrations.
yeah. Well, no.
oh. Again, you can see that the Queen cannot believe that she is being talked to in this way. She
Have
she
another drink.
grinds her teeth, and she does indeed finish the entire second pina colada before throwing it over to the side, where the empty glass shatters and the little umbrella twirls across the floor a bit. "We shall take it under advisement," she says. "Oh, Earl, would you be a dear and show them to the ready room. And then she touches a button, and the throne that she's sitting on slowly begins to turn around, but clearly not fast enough, for her. She turns her back on you as it's turning until the whole throne is turned away from you, and you're just looking at its backside. Oh man, Earl's like, now, y'all boys don't take old Miss Queenie too hard now. Y'all come on with me. And he sort of waddles back up the stairs. They're all kind of sidewinding, and he's like, "Come on, we'll get some beers on the way." And
Sure, but you're gonna free those prisoners, right?
oh! And he kind of gestures over at the other monkeys that brought in them. They have little like space monkey police suits on, which are kind of adorable little black and white space suits, and they have little tiny police hats on. And he gestures over to them, and they immediately like unlock the cuffs on the humans, who kind of run over there. And Ernie says, "I told him about you guys. I'm really a big fan, and I watch all your televised events, and Mr. Steele, I have all of your trader cards."
Well, yeah. So yeah, if you're familiar with our work and Brick's work in particular, you know that we're not one to be messed with. So we'll negotiate. We'll talk to you rather than the Queen for a bit, because I don't quite enjoy your company.
Yeah.
You can hear a humph come over from the back turned throne over there when he says that. and Earl is like, "Y'all come on now." And he heads over to the door and walks out.
Okay.
So Earl will quickly take you guys back to the mess hall you walked through to get here. And he will round up and come over with, again, tiny little monkey-sized frosty mugs of what appear to be like sort of a light, pale Budweiser style beer. I'm trying to think of what the absolute most American beer is. It might be something like, I don't know, Pabst Blue Ribbon or something.
Yep.
Let's go with Pabst Blue Ribbon. So he's got little frosty monkey mugs of Pabst Blue Ribbon, which he will set out. And being a nice guy, he's brought enough for everybody. So he has like 4 in each hand and sets them all down. Now, for you guys, they're kind of small, but anyway, he hitches a leg up onto one of the benches along the mess hall eating tables, and he's like, "I sure am sorry about how Queenie might have treated y'all. Now, we got us some suits, that was made by the men what put most of this base together up in the first days. And they ought to fit you just fine. And we also got us a moon rover, and it'll just take a couple minutes there to swap out the seats, what for me and my boys, for the original seats, what were built for you type of folks."
Who that man? Who was that man?
Oh, which man do you mean?
The one that created the base in the first place. The one that made the human size spacesuits and a rover.
So he kind of hooks his thumbs at the front of his spacesuit, which does not have suspenders, as though it had suspenders. He says, "Now you boys came to just the right man. Sit yourselves down, and I'll tell you a tale." Now, back there in the early days, what a space travel. Once we was finished with the big war, and we was looking to the stars to show how great a place the good old U.S. of A. was, we started us a program. But we wanted to make sure that everything was going to be all just fine for American citizens, what to be coming to the moon and all. And it was decided that as had been done traditionally for quite some time, we would run some safety tests first. Safety tests, what involving, my kind. And he hitches a thumb towards his head. So they rounded a bunch of us up, and we was all part of a big old National Institute of Mental Health experiment anyhow. So we was all sign languaging and button pushing, and that's just the kind of monkeys they was into. Now, after a while, just as things were really getting rolling up here, they sent a few boys real quiet like up here to the moon, where the intention of the good old president was we was going to build us a base from which we could launch attacks on them there red communist Russians. Now, as it turned out, when we got here with the first auto-deployable units, what's to make the first of our bases, turns out, and I'm trying to think of what a 1950s term for the Russians was. Them old Ruskies had already built a dome up here on their own. And so the race was on. Yes, sir. Now, we hustled up a couple more deployable units to set up some other bases just as quick as you please. Now, old Johnny Red there, he wasn't quite as fast as we was. But old Ivan, he had sent up old real boys, real men, so to speak. So over there was actual what they called cosmonauts back in the day. And when they saw that we had, monkey kind up here, monkeying about, doing what we was doing, building a great and mighty American presence up here on the moon, they decided they could one up the old United States of America by sending up monkey gorillas, twice the size of us monkey apes, and that their space program would have one up on old, us. So that's how all this came to be. Now, pretty quickly, the support and, turns out approval of monkey kind up here, monkeying about with space and what have you, kind of fell through, and so did the funding, so did the votes to keep us going. So kind of after a while, we were just left up here to fend for ourselves. Now, good number of us, we had been trained to raise all the little plants up in the watery hydroponics and what have you, and we had all them grow lights, and we had just about enough seeds, renewing themselves as they do to last about forever. So guess the money dried up, say about 1962, and we've been up here ever since. And we sort of figured out we needed to have our own sort of president. And we had a couple of presidents. You know how it goes before Queenie came along. Queenie was a bit different, but heck, I'll tell you, I think that her crib was laying a little too close to some thin shielding, if you know what I mean. I caught a bit of that.
Oh yeah, I really dig what you mean.
So, Queenie, she ain't quite like the rest of us, as you might have seen.
Did she lose an election and refuse to give up power?
Well, see, it's kind of hard to do what Queenie don't want you to do. And so when it came down to the question of when we moved to having a queen instead of our elected presidents, well, everybody in turn, when they would step up and give their thoughts on the matter, just kind of said yes.
And we know, do we know what's the, sorry, go ahead, kid.
Oh, I was just going to say, that sounds really bad.
Well,
indeed.
It weren't good.
Do we know what the origin of her special powers is?
Well, I think, and again, he kind of tips up his cowboy hat a little bit. I do think that her crib was next to some poorly shielded wall. We had some problems with that cosmic radiation that you might have heard talk about. You, especially, your character knows all about that kind of stuff. And so as it turns out, she was exposed to mutational cosmic radiation.
Is she the only one of your species to have such powers?
Yeah. The rest of us are just
good
old boys.
And for how long has she been queen?
Gosh, it had to be a good 3-4 years now.
Okay. And what can you tell us about the recent invasion of your base by the guerrillas? Who's their leader? What weapon do they have? How many of them are they? Are
He,
there?
he tugs his little cowboy hat down kind of shamefully and he says, "Well, sir, we don't rightly know. There ain't a
Okay.
bunch of communication twixt our kind and theirs, and they just showed up and kicked the asses of our boys out there. I guess I ought to tell you now. I was going to tell you later, but what they took over was our prototype space artillery base. That's why
Oh,
this here matter is important. See,
yeah.
we were working on a project that was originally something that that there old Pentagon, what you guys got, down up on Earth, had this idea where when the Earth turned and the moon was facing Ruski territory, it took a lot less power to launch a big old cannon shell right here off the moon's surface than it does to do so from Earth and what have you. And
Mhm.
once we figured out how to go a little faster than normal, uh, problems with rotational variance and what have you were sort of well, in theory solved. We ain't never shot nothing. The command ain't never really come down. And before, the whole plan was that we would only do something like that, if the word should come from the greater authorities on Earth, who admittedly have not sent a communication in 27 years. And um, I well, they could turn that there old artillery base on us, and it wouldn't take but a few shots. This whole here old place would be Swiss cheese, and that's the end of the monkeys.
Yeah, they can also turn their cannons to Earth. Uh,
Bombard
oh,
our beloved Muscle City.
yeah, that's not good. So we have two problems to solve here. Getting that moon base back from the gorillas, and get rid of your power crazy queen.
Yes.
Okay. Did the queen try to use her powers on the gorillas? Or was she not present at the moment of the attack?
Oh no, sir. She don't hardly ever leave the throne room in her own royal chambers. That's
Yeah,
about where
they never stray too far from those pina coladas, right?
well, that's one way of saying it. Yes, sir. That there's pretty accurate.
Okay. Uh, you,
So
yeah.
I admit, I myself have only seen them there apes from afar. But I can tell you, they ain't small.
Hey, we took one out. We can do it again.
I think we should go smash communism and then come back to destroy the monarchy following.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Love it. Okay. I am glad to see enthusiasm for these concepts. I tried to make her as reasonably horrible as I could without you just killing her outright.
We almost did.
Whew. So, all right. Well, after you guys finish your tiny beers, which probably ended up being like 10-ounce beers, Earl will
Like a shooter of beer.
yes, they're making those little monkey hands, and they're just like they're cute, but they're tiny. And so he'll walk you guys down there, and heck, Bert and Ernie, and man, okay, so I think it's worth letting anybody who wants to make a brains check to see something, to detect something, as all this was going down. Because in the same room with you were the survivalist and Bert and Ernie too, who heard all the same stuff you did in English from a weird little monkey.
Okay, so let's try it.
I got a.
I've got a 12. I've got an
Woo!
extra hero
Hero
point.
point! All right.
Cool.
Man. Well, you noticed during all that exposition, sorry about the exposition, everyone.
No, it's great.
That was
The story
amazing.
is super fun. I
all
love it.
right, the survivalist from the campground, man, just imagine, like, if you had gone to some really hardcore JFK Alex Jones guy and just explained to him it was all true. The guy on the
Yeah.
grassy knoll was actually blah blah blah. He just took it
Yeah,
in. You
he's
could see him like,
having a wet dream now.
good goddamn, yes. He is like, I knew it.
Communist gorillas on the moon.
You can see that he is filled with conspiracy theorist rage right now at the entire affair.
Frothing in the mouth.
Yes. If they had stolen him up here with any guns, he would be distributing them to you all now to run over there and mow down those Ruskies immediately.
Hey, the only guns we need are here.
That's right. So fortunately, he's left to fume over there, but he will do, as well as Bert and Ernie, who feel real bad because in truth, your names were given to the monkeys by them in a desperate ploy to not be sent to die at the hands of space gorillas. And so they feel real bad about being responsible for you being abducted by aliens too. And all of them will do everything they can to help you guys kind of prep up and get into your space suits. And, you just got to wrench out the monkey-sized seats and wrench in the human-sized seats on the buggy and all that kind of thing. And they'll kind of help do that and everything and get most of that work done while you guys are suiting up, and Earl and the conspiracy theory guy are kind of helping you out. And it isn't too long, maybe 45 minutes before everything's pretty much ready.
Awesome.
How does the helmet fit around my horns?
Oh,
that's a good question.
Oh, okay. I think this will work. So what I want to have you guys have on are like Hollywood B-movie spacesuits of like, sparkly, puffy, stuff, and big bubble helmets.
Okay.
And the bubble helmets are big enough so that your horns will fit inside because it's just a big sphere around your head. And that's
every time I turn, you hear
it.
this scraping against
glass.
glass.
Yes.
You have to be able to fit an afro inside.
Yes, you would have to be able to fit a giant 1960s afro inside too.
Exactly. So that works
it's a
out.
Big glass helmet of impact resistant bulletproof glass. But yeah. So that's how I'm hopefully going to get around your odd head shape. It's just big B-movie glass round helmets.
Works for me.
All right. Whew. So you guys are all suited up now. This is the next thing I want to tell you, though. These suits haven't been used in decades, and they smell musty and dusty. And one of you, hold on, I'm just going to. Oh, Garrett. Brick Steel, your suit also smells like mothballs because somebody threw in 2 mothballs into the suit when they put it into storage, unlike the others, thinking that would be helpful. But now it just means that your suit smells like stinky mothballs when you're in it.
I'll make it work.
So, all right. Yeah. So the air is like musty and old, but it's perfectly fine oxygen and nitrogen and what have you. And you can see all the little suit readouts on the front if you kind of like look at it, are like, hey, okay. And hey, cats. And then
yeah, she's trying to climb around on the desk, and I don't want her to hit something and have our
yeah.
stream mysteriously
good call.
end.
So, Ernie, Bert, Earl, and the conspiracy guy all pretty much have to file on out so that the airlock garage door can be opened. You guys can rumble on out into the thing. Now, here's the deal. You notice that on this rover, there are 4 big, like, smash buttons. And, there are 4 big smash buttons. And above them, in English, it says base 1, base 2, base 3, base 4. And basically, Earl just says, well, if you smash that there button, it'll just drive you right over to the the base 4. And if you decide you want to go manual, well, that there's the gas and that there's the brake. And he points to the usual kind of gas, brake, and steering wheel, and it all kind of makes sense. It actually doesn't have a gear shift because it just has one gear and one speed. But it would have apparently been more weight if they'd built it differently. So that's
Makes
it.
sense.
So yeah, it's pretty much when you guys are ready, they'll file out of the room behind the big glass wall and wave as you guys roll out.
Okay, so should we drive manually or just take a chance on the auto drive?
Yeah, what do you think, guys?
I'm sure it's
Oh,
quality
wow.
manufacture. We can just hit the button.
Yeah, okay. Let's hit the button and let's get carried.
So, sure enough, as you hit the button, that there buggy guides itself right out of the sort of airlock garage. And once you get out there, you can see there's clearly the sign of this same buggy having driven many times on this exact same path. It's kind of like the path is pre-written, so you're almost driving exactly in the same wheel marks of previous journeys this thing has made. And away you go. So it's a good bit. In that map that we saw heading down to the moon's surface, there was a little base far down to the south. And that's where you're headed. So you end up riding a bit across the surface of the moon. I would like to say that it's a pretty amazing experience for professional wrestlers to be riding a buggy on the surface of the actual moon, with the exception of Shooting Star, who is herself from space. And wait, maybe Lumen too. I forget your origin, sir, but I remember it had some El Misterioso to it. And and so, the heck, since you've decided to let the autopilot handle it, you will basically drive right on over there without issue until you come close. So, as you're nearing the facility, what you see is a smaller sort of moon base. Looking back at the one you had come from, as you pulled away from it, you could see that it had a couple of domes and some buildings and some connecting tubeways and all that sort of rigmarole one would expect. This one is more like one big pillbox and a little attached side building and a little building attached to that might be some kind of like a, what do you call it, a power station or whatever. And on the top of it is a big old cannon, like just a big honking cannon. And heck, I guess we could show that map now of the, what did I title that thing here? Bear with me a second. I think I called it there it is, Space Monkey Laser Cannon. Among the images for this game, Space Monkey Laser Cannon is one of them. Woo! There we go. So that's kind of what you're heading towards. It's sort of set alongside a ridge of moon mountains here and what have you. But above ground, you can kind of see there's that big, radar assisted cannon and what have you. And you're trundling your way to it. Now, as you approach, there's a beeping green light on the front of your spacesuits that they gave you, which tells you incoming transmission. The beeping green light is also a button you can push if you would like to hear the incoming transmission.
For sure.
Okay. First thing that fills the helmet of any wrestler who pushes the green button is Soviet marching music, blaring and scratchy and loud. So like real 1950s Iron Curtain Soviet marching music starts first. And then there's a short sound of feedback and a sort of tinny Russian accented voice says, "Niet, comrades, niet. Stop right there, or we will blast you from the face of the moon."
Well, if you all get out of the giant moon base and surrender, we're not gonna come inside. Otherwise, yeah, we're coming in.
You can all hear the sound of what sounds like several gorillas making loud, laughing gorilla sounds in the background with Russian accents.
Laughs in Russian.
Oh, and when they seem to get their composure back, you can see that the cannon turns and begins to turn towards your buggy.
Okay. Are we at a distance that they would have enough time to shoot at us, or are we approaching?
No.
Are we approaching fast enough that because there's no speed on the rover, right? We can't
Ah.
accelerate,
Well.
or can we?
Well, if you switch to manual, there is a gas and a brake pedal. And
Okay. So who's sitting in the driver's seat?
Who wants to be sitting in the driver's seat?
Who's the most? Who has most acrobatics? I suppose.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, how about it,
I have
guys?
two.
You
I'll
have
drive.
two, so the kid is the driver.
All right, kid. Yeah, there is a big, obvious like switch where you can switch it auto or manual. I mean, again, it was made for monkeys who were trained on a very simplistic control panel. So it literally is just a big auto manual like Frankenstein throw switch.
Yeah.
Well, first I smash the button on my chest and I say,
Ooh.
"We're coming to kick your ass." And then I flip the switch and I punch it towards the base.
Man, okay, so
There's no way that the kid is going to be a very good driver. I don't care how many acrobatics he has.
I have hooves.
So what's going on now is that when you just put the pedal to the metal on this thing, it just goes all out. And the thing is, though, you and this cart all weigh 1/3 of your actual weight, or just some moon thing. So this thing starts to bounce around as much as 12 feet off the ground as you are monster trucking it at the base at 75 miles an hour. Please, everyone, make an acrobatics check to hang on as the moon buggy bounces wildly across the lunar surface.
I'm suddenly having flashbacks to mine and Matt's snowmobiling incident.
Oh no! Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I got a 10.
Woo! Yes. Hang it on.
I'll use one of my resolve points to have an 8 and make it a success.
Yes.
So that leaves me only with 2.
Woo, okay. Did everybody make it?
Dirty 12. Yeah.
Oh. Nice.
All right. Well, so you guys make a very difficult target. And sure enough, as the gorillas try to shoot you, they shoot wide and miss you as you bounce and race in towards the installment there. And indeed, you are safe as huge cratery explosions happen behind you, some of which will propel end over end the buggy that you're on, which fortunately lands right side up and continues flying forward at a breakneck pace. But behind you are towering cinematic Hollywood explosions as you race in to the close proximity where it cannot shoot you, as Martin was talking about earlier.
Oh no, you're going to leave craters all over the moon.
Yeah, they probably leave 4 or 5 craters trying to shoot you as you race in here. Oh, all their gorilla laughter has stopped, however, as you peel up to the side and skid up to the door. If you look at the picture there on the right, you can actually see the little sort of lozenge-shaped like submarine door in the side.
Yeah. Cool.
So, All right.
That map is awesome, by the way. I don't know who did it, but it's very cool. I love it.
I will share with you the actual game and production company this thing actually comes from, because it's part of like a little mini game for God, I want to say like Mothership or something like that. But I'll give you all the details after this game.
It's very beautiful and it fits perfectly.
Yeah, right. This looks totally fun. So in you guys go.
We need to get inside. Yeah.
There is, as it turns out, just a big, again, Frankenstein throw switch that opens the door and cycles the airlock, so the door will open up and let you guys in. So I mean, it doesn't look like it even has a lock, but being on the moon, they didn't expect it to need a lock. And so basically you guys can rush right up there. Everybody has a moment, again, negotiating Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin style, that weird running on the surface of the moon, which is more careening wildly in random directions for a second as you fly several feet further than you intended to. But everyone pretty much makes it to the side of the building and hangs on for life for a second and then steadies themselves, and you throw open the door. All right, so peeking inside in the first airlock room, there aren't any gorillas there yet, so everyone can clamber in and slam the door shut behind you if you please, unless there's any other plans instead.
No.
My only thought is that we should, like, assuming we can go up and down, right? That we might want to go up into the turret of the gun first, just so if there's any gorillas that can operate the gun, we can neutralize them and then maybe work downwards so we don't leave. I just don't want a gorilla in the thing that's going to shell the city or shell the other, where the queen is or anything. Let's just take the gun out of play.
Yeah.
And then we can disable it for good otherwise.
The control panel or the control room, is it in room 2 or it's located elsewhere?
All right.
We wouldn't know about that.
It's true. They nobody bothered to give you a map of this place, but heck, it will take you only a moment. Once the airlock cycles and you can move into the base proper, there is a climbing ladder of US naval style metal climbing ladder that climbs up into the big compartment of the gun that you can see up there, and it's got like a little airlocky door with the big turn wheel that opens it, and it's closed, but it looks like there's supposed to be a personnel up there, so there could be a gorilla up there right now.
Okay, so we have to check this first, or we split up. What was your plan? Real deal?
Well, I don't really want to. I'm not insisting. It's just an idea. I don't know if we should party split, but we're also in a pretty confined space too. So we could all go one way, or two of us could go up, two of us could go down. I don't really know.
Okay. Well, if we want to act quick, I suppose. So we can check if there's somebody out there first, and then go to the control room.
All right.
Yeah.
This might be the right time to show the moon apes picture, Dave, if you think so too.
Ooh.
Give me 1 second. I'm going to do that.
Woohoo! Hi.
And then I will do this.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. All right.
Awesome.
So there are the big burly moon apes who skip leg day. And so, woo, yeah, I'm telling you, they are ready to rock and roll. So, I heard, I think first you guys are going to climb the extremely short ladder and open up the door to the turret. Did I hear that right?
Yeah, I think that's
Okay.
what we decided. Unless somebody
Unless
says
somebody
otherwise.
else. Yeah, yeah.
So, all right. I want whoever is last going up the ladder to please, if they would, make a brains check to discover something.
Who's last? Should we randomize because we haven't settled on it
However you wish.
beforehand?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Okay.
can do that.
Okay, so anybody has a D4 on hand?
Oh, of course.
I only have D6s because
Yeah,
the game only
same here.
uses D6.
So I will count it as we are stacked vertically on the left-hand side with Dave first and Garrett and Martin and Matt as 4. The roll is 2. So,
Okay.
real deal. You were bringing up the rear. What you see as the 3 guys get onto the ladder in front of you and are unsquealing the door hatch up above is that the door hatch from down below starts to turn a little bit too, as though gorillas are coming up from down under.
Oh, so they're trying to climb 2. Okay.
Yeah.
But that okay. So and what the brains check? Did you succeed, Brick?
Yeah, we shall see. How about it?
Oh, I thought he rolled already.
No, I hadn't.
I thought so too.
I did get a 9.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So then you see the wheel underneath your feet start to turn too. Maybe it even nudges you a little bit, and you're like, "Hey, wait a minute." So now
Yeah, so
is your
I
chance.
yell up and say that the hatch below is opening, just so we all know.
All right, guys. So what do we want to do?
If Garrett is the last one in the row, let's say Kid is first. So Kid, when he reaches the top of the ladder, does he see if there's an ape operating the turret from up the hatch?
I had actually wanted to warn you about the ones emerging from below as you were starting to
Oh,
turn
yeah,
the
okay.
wheel for the one up. So you haven't actually seen above you yet.
Okay, we're like mid climb. Where
Yeah, some of you are still on the ladder.
and then the ape come from under us.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
So there's many things you could do. You could try to hold the door shut against them by grabbing onto the wheel and testing your strength against them, or maybe wedge it with like a monkey wrench or something, or any number of stuff.
Or
I
a
want to
stick.
leave it open for you guys.
You still have your stick?
I'm in the back, so until we get the turret figured out, I'll just drop down and, like you said, Eric, I'll just grab a hold of the wheel and try to work against whoever's trying to open it to keep it closed.
Oh, yes. Okay. Woo, now.
Yeah,
I
will
think
help.
it's time for a test of strength. Would you mind then, sir, applying your great might in a strength check? Dun, dun, dun.
11.
Yes. All right. So you're holding the door, Hodor style, against the gorillas from below. Ooh, so, all right. So that problem is at least resolved at the cost of one of you apparently having to stand there and hold the door shut. That leaves the 3 of you to carry forward and address the potential threat above.
You said I was first, so
Yeah, sure.
I will actually reach up and try to spin the wheel on the top turret like as fast as I can, like a roulette wheel.
All right. It indeed spins real fast and it opens in a second. It's like squeak, 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 open. So now you can push open the door. It pushes up
All right, I push up, stick my head up, and as I'm climbing up, I reach behind me and I kind of fidget a little bit and I pull my lava lamp out that I have. And I stick my head up holding the lamp. And do I see any gorillas in there?
Yes, there is a gorilla up here.
And I say, don't move or I'm going to make this thing blast and put a hole in this station.
Yeah. This very powerful explosive device.
I figured they've never seen a lava lamp, so
exactly, because
Why
they've
would
been
they?
here since the 50s. So, oh my goodness, wow! I
It's
have
hilarious.
Let's see. All right, in crime-fighting luchadors, if you want to bluff or convince someone, do you make a brains check?
Yeah.
Aha!
That
A
would be
brains check, sir. Outwit the gorilla
oh boy.
with your keen goatee intellect.
Hey,
Oh,
I think the use of the lava lamp would grant him +1
+1,
bonus, right?
agreed.
Because
Yes, sir.
he's using an asset for his role.
Yeah. Great point. So I guess should that be a roll with advantage?
Well, you're the referee.
Good question.
I'd say either a +1 or a roll with advantage.
Tough
It's up to you.
Tough one. Dang it. I tell you what. I think that ploy is so awesome. I want to give you an advantage roll.
All
So
right.
roll
Agreed.
3, top 2.
Roll 3, top 2. All right. I got an 11.
Woo! Okay. So he does not notice the dangling, unplugged in power cord. And he indeed falls for it. So you can see he's holding his space rifle like that, first monkey on the left there, or I should say first gorilla on the left. And he seems concerned, for he's never seen an explosive device of this type before. And he has second thoughts. So you see him sort of point the gun away from you. And is like, hold on, comrade.
Drop the gun, pal.
You will blast yourself too, comrade. Let us
It
stop
will
a
save
moment.
America.
Okay, and he puts down the rifle. He's like, oh, no.
Don't you know I'm local?
Exactly. Yeah, he is fairly convinced you are loco right now. You do have, I have to admit, a goat head, and he was not prepared for that. He doesn't know what America is doing now, but he is pretty sure that it's unpredictable.
Neither do we.
So he's like, look, I'm really just a comrade who likes some vodka and movies, Hollywood movies, and he steps back away from the hatchway that you're arriving through.
So I will climb up in, and then I'm just going to point at him, and I say, lay down.
Whew, okay. He thinks about it. Yeah, you can see him kind of get down, and he kind of knows the drill. He puts his little monkey hands on the top of his head, like prisoner of war style. I should say gorilla hands. And he's like, I am complying, comrade.
Is there an electrical outlet in here?
Yes.
I plug the lamp in, and then I say it's set to detonate if you make a move.
Within seconds, the first little bloop begins to rise inside, and you see the gorilla's eyes widen in disbelief and wonder at what the hell is going on.
This could get bad.
You can totally take his rifle now if you want.
All right, yeah, I will. I will take it and I break it over my leg.
Woo! Yeah! Oh man. I want to give you a resolve point for that.
Cool. Thank you.
I don't know if that's necessarily how it's supposed to work and all, but that is such a grand luchador moment when instead of using the rifle, you smash it instead. And I'm like, that's the soul of the game right there. That is the heart of crime fighting luchadors. And I just wanted to have
Absolutely.
some kind of reward for that. Woo, all right.
Can we also check that there's no shell loaded in the cannon
Oh,
at the
well,
moment?
yeah. When you climb up and look, there is a shell loaded. He had reloaded and was ready to fire more. It looks like, this is kind of like an old, like, maybe Korean War era artillery piece. So he's supposed to get commands from an artillery officer that says, 90 degrees left, 10 degrees up, and all that kind of whatever. I don't know. I know nothing about artillery because I haven't served.
Wow.
But
let's say it works basically like battleship.
yeah, exactly. So he was ready if the commander down below told him, okay, fire on coordinates so and so. He was going to go to those coordinates and do it, but he's ready to fire. Or this place is ready to fire.
So we can we get the shell out of the cannon?
Yes.
So it's not ready to fire as soon as we turn our backs, or if some other ape find a way up while we're fighting our way downstairs.
Yeah, sure. So yes, absolutely. You can unload the big weird shell. So that's when you discover this. When you open the sort of hatch where the shell goes into,
yeah,
that's when it becomes apparent that this is some kind of weird upgraded stuff. So here's what's going on. What this thing is a giant atomic battery.
Oh.
And it's wait, hold on. So it's blasted the things. All right. Wait, I can't really retcon what I've done before. Never mind. It's a big shell. You can pull this shell out. I was going to do something else, but it occurs to me it doesn't fit with what's already happened, which is giant fiery explosions behind your buggy.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep to that. And it is a giant shell, which you plop out of there. Fortunately, everything on the moon weighs a fraction of its true weight. So these, I don't know, let's call them depleted uranium shells are much, much lighter than they would otherwise be. And your mighty wrestler muscles haul it on out of there. And, for a moment, you can check and see all the way down the open barrel out into space. And I guess air is rushing out, so close the hatch.
Perfect.
Okay. So the gorilla on the floor, sees all this activity happening, and that explosive device is not exploding. And like, you've moved a radioactive shell up in here, and maybe the kid who'd come up first is kind of kibitzing around, and he's starting to think he might have been hornswoggled, which is certainly something that the American Yankees are known to do, in the Russian playbook. And so I think that he is going to try to make a sneak attack and see if we all get blown up, or if he guessed right about the annihilation device. So he will suddenly gorilla jump up off the floor and try to leap over there and tackle you down, and basically go all apey and gorilla-y on you. So I think it's time for initiative.
Yeah. Okay. Last time I rolled and I missed. So anybody else feels lucky?
Mighty team. Who wants to roll for the great team?
I'll roll.
Yes. Woo.
5.
5. So we go first.
Yes. All right. So you spot the gorilla making a play for his life and can act first. What do you want to do to attack?
There's only the one gorilla.
Yeah. You're just it's you and the kid up here.
The kid didn't have a chance to pummel somebody yet, and
you want to go first,
Lumen also
Sure.
didn't partake in the fight last time, so maybe they want.
Oh, yeah. So
they
absolutely. We know that the real deal is holding the door. And that leaves Matt absolutely and Dave ready to also attack. If any of you guys wants to go first, please have at it. And I'm happy to say that Lumen, you had arrived in the room minutes ago and we're already here.
Go
I
for
will.
it, Lumen.
I will help the real deal keep the hatch closed. And if I see that the other two are struggling with the fight, I will jump in later. But I'll help keep the hatch closed for the moment.
All right, so you leap down the hatch and help secure it against the possibly multiple gorillas below.
Yeah.
All right, boys, you guys have one initiative. Who will do what to counterattack the moon ape?
Go for it, Lumen.
Okay. So first thing that Lumen does is says, "Boom!" really loud when he sees the gorilla move, and then comes in and just does a we'll just say, since the gravity is really low, just jump and do a flying kick towards it.
Yeah!
Yes.
Woohoo!
Yeah, must not be used to the gravity yet, because I missed that.
I can spend a hero point to help you out.
Ooh.
And I had a D6 to your roll if you need it.
No, let's save the hero points for later. It's one gorilla. I think we got it. The kid will redeem me here.
No problem.
All right.
Keep it for later then.
Well, Lumen is strong, and he flies up and actually kicks so like he would crush a man with his kick, and he flies over the gorilla for the sheer power of his kick because of the low gravity, and just happens to miss this time.
Mark's in the chat has a really funny idea. He says, grapple the gorilla and force him into the cannon to launch him into space. Which I think is hilarious.
That is awesome.
Hi, Mark.
Well, kid, what's it gonna be, sir?
So the kid says, "No!" and goes flying through the air to deliver a Superman punch to the side of the gorilla's head.
Oh, special move or regular?
Special.
Well, no missing there. Okay. All right. That being the case, I believe it's time to hear how much damage you do with that.
All right. And I'm forgetting damage because it's been so long since we've played.
And don't forget also that we leveled up, so your base damage is 2.
Right.
So it's going to be 2.
So
and then I can do acrobatics in place of muscle. Or is it muscle?
Yeah, you choose either acrobatics or muscles.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So I'd get 2 for the level 2, 2 for the acrobatics, and then 2 for the level 2 moves. That would be 6.
Woo!
6 unblockable.
Nice. Woo! That lays a smack on that gorilla, but impressively and admittedly, it's a gorilla. He manages to keep up, even having taken 6. So he's hurt, but not out of the fight.
Is there a tiny crack in his bubble helmet?
Oh, yeah, let's say so. Yeah, definitely. All right, so a tiny crack in his big, clunky, thick glass Soviet helmet. Woo, all right.
Okay, I will jump in then, since we didn't manage to take him out in a single round. So I will use one of my special moves.
Woo!
I'll use my if I use the ultra beam inside of the space station, do I risk making a hole in the hull?
Oh, fair question. Fair question. I will say, we'll say you think not. It it doesn't, annihilate a human when you shoot them with it. And these are big, thick metal walls. So you're hoping you'll check, but you're thinking it'll take a blast.
Yeah, maybe it's more like a sort of a sonic blast than.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I'll use my ultra beam.
Woo!
So that means 3, 4. Yeah, that's for 4 damage.
Woo! Perfectly.
So I have
Yeah.
a question real quick.
Yes,
Would
sir.
I see Shooting Star preparing to do the beam?
Yeah, I think so. Sure. It's sort of
So
an
I say-
ultra pose.
Where it's going to automatically hit, I say it's going to blast, and kind of to throw him to scare the gorilla a little bit. And
Nice. Oh, give me, if you would, a brains check for that, sir.
all right.
I want to see how the gorilla takes it.
Oh, I only got a 4.
He's so caught up in rushing forward to try to subdue you all that it seems he's just totally committed and kamikaze attacking at this point.
Yeah,
And
and
so-
I'll direct my blast on the helmet, so maybe in
Yes!
order to make the crack in his helmet bigger.
Woohoo!
So maybe his oxygen starts leaking out.
Oh, for sure. So the upside is that 4 was all that he had left. And so
Oh yeah,
you're going to
All
get a
right.
knockout. So the helmet will just break apart, big chunks of Soviet glass will kind of bounce around and fly away. And you can see the KO'd gorilla sort of sail backwards underneath underneath Lumen and, kind of crumple up into a corner. And yeah, you took him out. He is definitely breathing slowly and deeply like an unconscious person does.
Mhm.
And
Okay,
also, I
then
guess-
yeah, so he's KO'd, right?
yes, he is knocked out.
Okay, cool.
Woo, all right. Also, he's directly under you, Lumen. So if you want to tie him up or anything, he's right there and easy for you to immediately subdue or whatever.
Yeah, Lumen will secure the gorilla.
Okay. So in my head, I imagine that in this weird like 1950 space thing, there's kind of like, that big metal electrical conduit that's kind of the little metal jointed conduit, with all the little rings.
Yeah.
That, kind of was big
Yeah.
back then, 60s, 50s, even 70s. And you can kind of wrap him up in some of that and tie it all down. So he's like a prisoner now and can't cause any more trouble later after he comes out of his KO. All right. Oh, hey.
You could always go with Mark's suggestion now.
Ooh. He could be stuffed into a cannon unresistingly and shot into space.
Hey, I think we ought to do it, right?
Fan request. We must fulfill.
It's too cool to not do it.
All right. So in short order, a gorilla is stuffed into a giant chamber artillery piece, and then a big low yield atomic shell is plugged in after him, and the big thick steel artillery door closed, and all there is, whoever wishes to can just slap the big fire button, and away we go.
Who wants to do the honor?
Oops.
And there it is. Poof. There's kind of a very heavy boom sound and a tiny.
Actually, you know what? I can't shoot it. I'm holding the thing.
Oh,
I
hold the door.
can't do it.
That's right. It has to be Lumen or the kid or even you, Shooting Star.
Oh, I'll do it, and also
Okay.
I'll concentrate and think real hard. Hey, Queenie, you're next.
Man, so there it is. A tiny little bit of green radioactive vapor shoots around the seams of the door as it blasts out, and you can see through the artillery observation window a spinning sailing gorilla flying into lunar orbit. And behind him, just a big radioactive glowing green shell.
So I won't do the sound. I see that green radiation and I make like that screaming goat sound. And
That's right.
I duck and hide under the chair that the artillerist gorilla
Yes.
was firing
Oh my gosh.
from.
It is green radiation glow. I mean, fortunately, it's just tiny microparticles and they dissipate quickly and you're able to kind of catch your breath. But yeah, there was a moment where this.
Yeah, you just hit it's like, ah. I won't do the sound obnoxiously loud. So,
Mhm.
and I duck under the seat and I'm looking up at the cover on the cannon and I'm just like shaking. And then I regain my composure and I come out and I just act all tough and grab my lava lamp and stuff it back in my.
It cools down quickly once it's in your pack.
Yeah, okay.
All right. So down below, you guys can all see that Brick Steel's muscles are corded with the effort of holding the door against the turning force of possibly 2 gorillas. That's how mighty Brick Steel is. And
Okay.
looks like he could use some help down there.
Yeah, I'll whisper into his ear. Hey, at the count of 3, let go, and I'll shoot the beam directly into the hatch as soon as it opens. How does that sound?
Yep.
So everybody gathers around, and at the count, Brick Steel unhands the big iron wheel or steel wheel that's holding it shut. It immediately, because 2 gorillas were below trying to turn it, spins like a crazy roulette wheel all the way until it slams into its farthest spin that it can go. And then the hatch pops open, only for 2 gorilla-y heads that we see there over to the right to be looking up as they try to spring upwards to be pelted down by your blast. Go, sir.
So that's as a special move,
you
it
can't
automatically hits
Yes.
for 4 damage.
Woo! Gorilla
So
number 1.
there are 2 gorillas. So are they are they equipped differently, or are they the same?
So the topmost gorilla doesn't carry a rifle. You see the one in the middle there in the picture just to our right. He sort of has a dark blue uniform on that leaves his arms bare, and he's kind of the Russian boxing fighter of the gorillas.
Oh, okay.
He's there to to use his hands too, and relies on that. And he doesn't he doesn't even wear like a full helmet to kind of keep him free for boxing and all that kind of stuff. So you pound
But
the
to be fair, it's like a blind shot because I didn't know what I was shooting at, so I'll randomize which one I hit.
Ooh, okay.
Right. Let's say 1, 2, 3. It's the boxing one, and 4 to 6. It's the one carrying a rifle.
Yes.
So I hit the one with the rifle.
Okay. So
for 4 damage.
We'll say that as a trained fighter, much as you guys are, he sort of senses some kind of attack is coming when he sees you, and in the nick of time, dodges over to the side, and the blast just catches full on the gorilla beneath him with a sort of what? And then bam, and you can see he takes the blast and falls a few feet down the ladder where he's knocked off the ladder.
Cool. Okay.
All right.
So now do we roll for initiative?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do the fight fair from this point. Who's gonna roll for Team Hero?
Kid, you're good at it.
All right.
Woo!
Not this time. A 2.
Okay, man. So, the boxer gorilla, having seen the amazing cosmic power of Shooting Star, knows that he'd better take her out quick, Marvel comic style, or there's gonna be trouble. So he comes flying at gorilla speed out of the hatchway and attempts immediately to grapple and subdue, wrestling style, Shooting Star. So he's coming
Okay.
for, like, like a hold, something that'll keep you from making that position with your arms to shoot your blast.
Okay, so I'll roll acrobatics to dodge
Yes.
out of the way,
Yes, sir.
and that's an 11. So
Woo!
he misses.
Yes.
Maybe I make maybe I was propelled a little bit back
Ooh.
by the blast, the power of the
Ah!
laser, the beam,
Nice.
and I make a little jump off the wall and
Woo!
propel myself in another direction. So he grasped that pair.
Ha ha! Okay. Well, then that just leaves, since they went initiative, the other rifle-toting Soviet gorilla from down below who had smacked into the ground will groggily fire a shot up at, let's say, that I'm just going to roll 2. It'll be the kid, or let's do Real Deal. So 1, 2, 3 is the kid, 4, 5, 6 is Real Deal, and 6. He's going to shoot at you with his rifle. Now, I'm gonna actually give you a little bit of a bonus to this roll to dodge that with an acrobatics check, because he just got slammed into the ground and got hit kind of in the face with a laser. So
Okay.
he's not shooting at full form. So you'll actually have a +1 to this roll to dodge aside from the wild rifle blast.
All right.
Oh, who's getting shot? Sorry.
Me.
Kid.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry.
I got an 11.
Okay. So you dodge aside. Now, here's what you guys both hear and see. From the early science fiction film War of the Worlds, a searing, howling heat ray shoots out of the end of his Soviet blaster. It's a big, like 4-inch diameter heat ray shoots out, making that very specific noise, and slightly melts the ceiling behind you as it blasts out of there. So you're in that like ground level room below the ceiling, above which is the artillery thing, and it just kind of slightly melts some of the steel there, and maybe a drip or two comes down. But wow, that would hurt to get hit by, you're thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to take him out fast. If we don't hit him blasting holes in the hull of the ship, not the ship, but I mean the station.
Yeah. Woo! All right.
Okay. So now it's our turn to hack.
It is your turn. What's it gonna be, gentlemen?
Who wants to go first?
Lumen, go first.
Okay.
Woo!
All right. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So we'll do a special move. We'll do the spin throw.
Oh yeah!
Grab hold of the
Boxer.
the leader one who has a whole shooting star. And
Yes.
Gonna spin him around and then hopefully hit him into one of the bulkheads or something.
Yes.
So let's see, level 2 plus the 1 plus so that's 4 points of damage on him.
He goes down, smashing into the bulkhead. The boxer is KO'd, and you can see him dizzily crumple and fall to the metal floor.
Awesome.
Woo! All right, 2 down.
Do you mind if I go next quickly here?
Absolutely not.
Woo! What's it gonna
So, Real Deal is going to try to neutralize the guy below. I don't want him shooting anymore. So, he's just going to jump into the open hatchway and just tuck his grab his legs with his arms and just can't like spinning cannonball down on top of the guy.
Yeah,
Yes, do it.
love it.
Oh, come on. You could do it. You could do it.
Oh no.
Oh,
I'll help you with a hero point.
3, 6.
Yeah.
No, I can use 2 resolve. That's
Okay.
Oh, I can get to
Okay.
8 with 2 resolve. That's good.
Whew. All right.
So that would be 7 damage.
Nice.
Nice.
Honestly, he is out. You take him out with your cannonball,
Oh
sir.
yeah. Awesome. Okay.
He was actually the weakest of the 3 gorillas. And yeah, you took him out. So he too is KO'd and is just laid out. You're able to disarm him of that rifle and do as you please with it, get rid of it or whatever. And
I just pick it up with one hand and smash it against the wall and break it.
yes. All right.
And now we see a handful of teeth like slowly falling to the ground.
Oh, it's excellent. Man, okay.
May I suggest like a 5-minute bio break before we
Yeah.
get to the next scene?
Let's
Would
do it.
that be
Sure.
it now seems like a good moment maybe to
Yeah,
make a
good
quick
idea.
pause? Okay. And we're back in 5?
The boss one is out as well. He was taken down.
Yeah, he let's see, there was the second one, the boxer guy
Oh,
was
right.
actually
Yeah.
the boss one, and yeah, he got taken out.
Right on. Okay.
Oh man.
Just quickly, I just want to say, Eric, the adventure is awesome. I'm having
Yeah,
so
this
much
is
fun.
amazing.
Thank you very, thank
Yeah,
you
it's
very
very
much.
good.
I'm
I missed
glad I'm
playing
trying to
with you
make it fun.
guys, and this is so much fun.
Oh, thank you. Woo! All right. Bio break. Let's go.
And 5
All
minutes.
right.
Okay,
minutes.
thank you.
Woo!
We will just want to mute and stuff. Yeah.
My goodness, I need to learn to be better about my allotted time. I am so sorry.
You are good.
Dun, dun,
We're
dun.
back on because the video went off. So
Oh, okay.
we are back live, just so everybody knows. But we can entertain the masses still. That was so much fun. I did not know if the lava lamp trick would work.
That trick was fantastic.
Yeah, that was so much fun.
Woo!
That talk about a good use of an asset.
Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. Oh, heck yeah.
I don't even know how that popped into my head. Like, it was just one of those random things. I'm like, it's got all this moving fluid in it, and what I actually thought
Yeah.
of was the red matter from the Kelvin line Star Trek movies.
Oh,
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
yeah.
That was the first thing I thought of. I could see that kind of floating around in that Romulan ship when it all blew
Yes.
up. And I'm like, oh, okay, let's just say it's a bomb.
Oh, so fantastic. And I really had in my head that all of these monkeys and gorillas up here are kind of frozen in the 1950s, hence the howdy doody monkey there and all that sort of thing. And so it really, in my mind, I placed lava lamps as a 1960s thing,
Right.
kind of like that movie. And I'm like, oh, this would be some crazy future thing to them. That just seemed wonderful.
Well, and they're kind of shaped like warheads too, what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So it's like,
Absolutely. Ooh, well, so you guys now have free run of the artillery facility. I believe I had heard earlier that there might be some perceived need to maybe make sure that this thing couldn't be a threat to Muscle City.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we know that there are no shell loaded inside the cannon for the moment, but can we maybe head to the control room and I don't know, turn it off, destroy it, or render it unoperable for the moment? Because that's
So
the main thing.
I wanted this to be something that wrestlers could do. And fortunately, this is basically like a 3 main room facility. So, yes, right down there at the bottom, number 3 is the
The
giant
generator.
atomic reactor that you could go
No.
and sabotage and then flee from. And as you might notice on the earlier map of the moon, it is far, 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 far away from the main moon base you're going to go back to.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay, is there some because obviously we don't want to destroy it manually and have it blow in our faces. So is there a way to I don't know make it self-destruct or turn it off permanently or via the console control in the command control? I don't know.
yes, time to get down there and start looking around. Let's pop down to room 2, and I believe some investigatory checks will be in order. And this is a good
Oh
chance for
yeah.
anyone who has assets that aid in investigatory checks, like everything from magnifying glasses to, well, there's a number of them in the rules to use those assets to aid in your search for a way to sabotage this facility.
Hmm.
We're out of combat, so please feel free to act in any order you wish and apply any thoughts or stratagems you might have in mind.
I'll recuperate one stamina since we're having a bit of a calm
Yes.
moment,
Mhm, mhm.
and I don't have any set helpful in this situation. Does anybody have something?
I have my Geiger counter.
Ha ha!
Okay.
You do.
We could find a weak point maybe in the generator or in the reactor.
Ooh, you could. The Geiger
And rig
counter.
my lava lamp up to it to blow.
You know, that is such an awesome idea that I will hella not say no to that. I had when I originally placed the Geiger counter, I wanted it to be some tool by which you could follow the radiation trail left by Gorilluna all the way back to his cave if you wanted to. So it'll track any radiation trail or radiation leaks. You could definitely snoop around the reactor and look for some place where some minor leaking has occurred, then know that place to be a weak point.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. I kind of pull it out, and I've got the wand going around, seeing if I can find a weak point.
Okay. Well, then, let's say that you will now need to make your roll. Let's find out how you do in your investigation, sir. That's the next thing. Sometimes I forget the important rolling step, and this is a role-playing game. We got
Can everybody make it, or only Kid?
Oh, anyone who wishes to can attempt, but I just wanted to give folks a chance to use their assets too.
Yeah. So let him go at it first. And
I got a 9.
Yes. Okay.
That's enough.
All right. Then you indeed discover a point that looks like, yeah, there's this guy. This spot is pretty leaky. That means that this is the spot where if this machine were sabotaged, could lead to a meltdown.
Mm-hmm.
Would there be a way I could actually rig my lava lamp to overheat and perhaps make it burst? I'm trying to think here and make it burst, and just like a slight spark or a flame to.
Either that, or maybe is there something lying around the base that we can use to start a fire, or an explosion that would occur not immediately, but let's say in a couple of minutes, time for us to get away. Maybe there's something useful in the base. I don't know.
I have a notion of something. Can we do, whomever wishes to, an investigation check to search the base for something which might work in that regard?
I'll try.
All right.
No, that's a fail. So I'll use one of my hero points.
Ooh, okay. All right, then.
That's still not enough.
Oh,
so, okay. So do lava lamps get hot?
Well, let's see.
I'll make an attempt to find something that we can use here.
Okay.
I'm going to use a hero point though.
Ooh, okay. All right. Admittedly, sabotaging space stations is not a luchador's regular job, so forgive yourselves if you don't exactly make this check.
11.
Wow.
Okay. There are the remains of 2 Soviet heat ray rifles here that have been smashed, exposing all of their internal parts. It's possible you could rig up a heat ray from the broken rifle parts to shoot, like at the weak spot in the reactor, and then cause that meltdown that you want.
Sounds like a plan.
All right.
Sounds like a jury-rigging job for Lumen, maybe.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We'll try.
Yes. Brains check.
Okay. So I'm going to spend a resolve point to take it to 8.
Woohoo! Okay. As expected, the brilliant Lumen comes up with a great way to wire the remaining parts together, Reed Richards style, and result in a short-range, high-intensity heat blast that's going to melt through that weak part. Now, so here's what you'll have to do. You'll need to basically get a good bit back, set it off, and then race for the exit of the place.
GTFO.
Yeah. So it will end up basically being, I'd like to make it 2 acrobatics checks as you climb up the ladders, through the open hatches, and then burst out of the airlock door and get in the buggy and drive off at maximum speed.
Okay. So 2 different acrobatics check. Okay.
So I should figure in advance what would be the consequence of a failed acrobatics check, and it will be a bit of heat and radiation damage, as the melting down reactor is starting to consume the lower parts of the base and everything. So that will be the consequences. We'll say 1d4 per failed acrobatics check.
Fair enough. Okay.
All right.
So we're each taking 2 of them?
Yes, you want to make 2 as the reactor starts to melt down once Lumen sets off the makeshift device, and everybody races for it.
Okay, so my first roll was a 10, so that's a success, and my second roll was a 7, so I'll eat another resolve point to make it a success, and I only have 1 resolve point left.
Woo, okay.
But I succeeded on both rolls.
Who's next to make their pell-mell dash to safety?
Okay, so I succeeded on my first. Second one, I did terrible, so I used a hero point.
Yes!
And I passed on that, so
ha!
I have 1 hero
Okay.
point left.
2 luchadors safely out onto the lunar surface. All right, gentlemen, 2 remain. Who's going to go?
I got a 6, and I'm going to spend 2 resolve points to bring that to an 8.
Heck yeah.
And then a 7, and I'm going to spend 1 more to bring that to an 8.
Oh my gosh, this is a resolve eater. I am so sorry. This is chunking through
That's
your
quite all right.
points. Woo, okay. 1 remaining hero.
So I passed them both. I rolled 2 9s, so I'm good.
Away you all fly, up the ladders, through the steel hatches, into the airlock room, and out onto the lunar surface, climbing quickly into the open 4-seater Jeep-style lunar buggy. You punch it and bounce off across the lunar terrain, dashing between boulders and sharp moon rocks, as behind you, the steel mega cannon slowly melts and slides noisily with the sound of melting steel down into the lunar pit to join the melted pool, which will soon, in the frigid lunar night, freeze into one solid big steel plug with a radioactive interior.
There's an elephant foot on the moon now.
And away you fly to safety.
Amazing. Yeah. I felt the heat.
So now there are kind of 2 places you could go. You can return to base 1 and confront the queen if you wish, or you could go as earlier suggested and speak to the moon gorillas if you wish.
And where's their compound?
Okay, so as it turns out, the compound is just to the south of this facility. So if you turn and you sort of drive around the lunar mountain behind the facility, you'll see just a few kilometers away the big, blocky, square-shaped Soviet moon base. I want it to be a series of heavy concrete cubes in the brutalist style.
Yeah.
With giant hammer and sickles on the side, like just big, 20-foot tall hammer and sickle, concrete symbols on the side.
It's not because you're on the dark side of the moon that you can't do propaganda, right?
That's right. That's right. Oh.
Perfect. Okay. I just had a question. So far, we gather only one clue, right?
Gosh, yes.
Okay.
I feel as though
We got a second one, didn't we?
I feel as though there should be a second clue here, but the story that I've made is just so ambiguous. It's really, there are Soviet gorillas on the moon. There are American monkeys on the moon. The American monkeys have kind of been usurped by a lunatic with psychic powers, and you don't know what's going on with the Soviet monkeys. There was kind of an unstated opportunity, and I admit this would not be the luchador way, but you could have turned the artillery cannon on the Soviet base and obliterated it. But I agree, not heroic. So it's I feel as though, oh right. And in fact, I feel like what I should have done is placed a map to the Soviet base on one of the gorillas.
Okay.
That seems like, the sensible
we
thing.
didn't search them.
Or coordinates.
We didn't search them, so
true.
Okay. we would have missed it either way.
Okay.
We missed the clue. That happens. Okay, so as we head to the gorilla base, is there any sign of activity around? This facility doesn't have a cannon or any type of visible weapon, or has it?
Well, okay. So as you come into view of the Soviet gorilla base, it is a series of large blocky buildings that seem to be just thick, radiation-proof bunker concrete, which is cheap also. And there is a big, heavy Soviet-style rocket. And I want to think of where the Americans have these. What I really want the American moon monkey technology to be is that conspiracy theory stolen Nazi UFO scientist designs.
The bell.
Yeah, exactly. What was that, Project Paperclip or something?
Yeah.
Was their thing where the Soviets have big, heavy rockets. So their rocket is like 4 huge rockets and then one, solid rocket on top of those 4 huge ones. But I think of it more in the terms of like a Flash Gordon tail lander, upright rocket and that sort of thing. All of like burnished titanium with visible rivets on the outside and that sort of thing, and big, thick, like 6-inch thick, glass windows on the side, like bubble windows and that kind of thing. So that's what I'd like. Now, as you approach, most of the Soviet facility is difficult to determine the purpose of because the buildings are just big, blocky, brutalist, Iron Curtain era buildings. And really, it's more so when you get inside that you'll see what's going on. But outside, there's little activity going as spacesuits are expensive. And so they try to limit their use.
Okay.
On the upside, though, you don't see any big defenses. Like there aren't really any big, machine gun turrets or anything like that as you approach.
Are we in manual drive or?
Yes, because the American buggy only has buttons that auto guide it to the 4 American bases.
Makes sense. Sure. Okay.
So they've never seen a goat.
True that. You are going to be some weird Yankee monster to them.
So I look at the rest of the crew as we're driving and be like, I have an idea.
Ooh.
And are we stopping at a certain point, like stopping the the rover, for lack of a better term, at a certain point, and I say I could go in and tell them about a radiation leak that's contaminating the moon.
Ooh, subterfuge. All right.
So you want to trick them into abandoning the station?
I did it once.
Sure. Okay, why not? And we'll wait outside. And if they try, if you need any help or it goes south, then we come barging in.
Okay.
I suppose we have some kind of radio communication in our
Yes.
spacesuits.
All of your spacesuits let you communicate by radio since there's no air to carry sound outside, on the lunar surface. Of course, in any of the bases, there's air, but out here, you're all just talking through your radios.
Okay, so
Keep an open channel, kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll listen into what's going on. If it goes bad, we'll burst in and
save the day.
Yeah, and maybe we can also break the news to them that the Cold War is over, and maybe nobody cares about that shit anymore.
Exactly.
So maybe I don't know, but
Heck yeah.
Okay, that
could go either way. I don't care.
That sounds fun. I say go for it.
So I will start approaching the base, and I've kind of got my arms down on my side, and I'm dragging my leg behind me. And I'm like, ow, ow. As I approach the base, and I just slowly start banging on the door to the base.
Okay. Will the rest of you guys hide behind a rock or creep up to the outer wall of the building? What do the rest of you guys want to do?
There's probably a crater deep enough for us to be inside of. Okay, so that.
All right. So all of you guys hide at a crater. I don't know. Let's say 30, 40 yards away, and can peek over the top of the rim of the crater while
very Scooby-Doo-ish.
Yes. Well, he drags his leg up to and pounds on the big, obvious iron.
Before I actually do that, I start dragging my lava lamp behind me with the cord stuck in just attached to me, so I'm dragging the lava lamp.
Okay.
I feel like Luke sending the two droids into Jabba's palace and they're trying to Jedi.
Yes. Wow. You get up there and you bang on the door. It isn't too long before you can kind of feel the rumble of the big Soviet airlock sucking out all the air beyond the door. And then the door opens and a full helmeted gorilla is looking out curiously with his rifle, but kind of expecting one of the three other crewmen to be here. And yet here is perhaps the strangest creature he has ever seen.
And I do that screaming goat thing again, like that. And I say, the queen, she let out the radiation and it's killing us all.
Oh my God. Please, if you would, sir, I think it is time for a brains check.
All right.
I want to give you +1 on this for all the props and acting too. I mean, you've got a lot going on here. You're a crazy
if you're giving me a
goat.
+1, I got a dirty 12.
Woo!
Oh, okay.
All right. So the gorilla seems pretty damned surprised at the whole thing. He's looking at you like, was that a monkey? And kind of backing away from you.
And I just start reaching for him and I do the scream again.
Oh, well, honestly, you certainly have the element of surprise if you want to subdue this gorilla.
Oh,
yeah, I'm actually going to. I'm just gonna try. Oh boy, how do I want to do this?
Nicely, he is also alone in the airlock too.
Do you have a minute to talk about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ?
I just look and I point to the door with him and I say, "Run before it gets here."
Whoa. So wow, what will he do? You make it, so you've convinced him of your terrible ploy. Wow. Okay. What is the most logical thing for the gorilla to do? He doesn't want to run outside of the perceived safety of his Soviet bunker base, so he's going to run for the interior door. And his thought is like, I must warn my comrades. So
when he turns his back to me, I actually take my lava lamp and smash it through his helmet.
Whoa! Damn. Okay. Ooh. Gosh. Sneak attack. Please roll to hit, sir.
Would I have advantage or?
Ooh. Okay. Sure.
All right. I got an 11.
Okay, well, all right then. So you smash the helmet of the gorilla, and ooze shoots in from your broken lava lamp.
It's here! It's here!
Oh my God. Okay, so let me ask this. In your perception of this, was the outer door to the airlock closed or
I'm
still
gonna say
open?
it's closed because I don't want him to go through like the total
Decompression.
recall on the surface of Mars thing.
Yes. In that case, then yeah, gorilla panic happens at this point. So I guess that should do at least some small amount of damage. So let me do a quick thing real fast here. Oh, that is a surprisingly low amount of hit points. How about, could I have a 1d6 roll for damage?
Sure. 4.
That's how many hit points he has. So that shatters is like, and he panics and then falls over in a fear faint and tumbles to the ground.
So that's probably our call to join the fun, right? Because our cover is blown now.
You guys sprint across the lunar surface in huge leaps and bounds and are there in a matter of seconds, and opening and piling into the big, heavy, 6-inch thick Soviet steel door to the airlock, and closing it behind you. You can hear the big chunk as the room fills back up with atmosphere again. And then the four of you are assembled like Avengers.
Yay!
I look at the three of them as they're coming in and I say, Kid 2, Apes 0.
Yes. Ooh, guys. All right. Are we ready?
Sure are.
All right. Let me do a quick check because it just occurs to me we might need another facility. And fortunately, I had brought a lot of facilities. So let's do that one or that one. Hold on. I'm kind of double checking it. Yeah, I want that one to be that one. Yeah, let's it's not as clunky as I wanted it to look. But Dave, I'm thinking the Space Monkey Moon Base might be appropriate for this. It isn't as blocky as I had hoped. If I had really prepared better, I would have had a better one. But I wasn't sure if you guys would go and take the fight to the gorillas. So, here we go. Space Monkey Moon Base, which nicely it's concealed at
as
the bottom.
wrestlers, we have to take things up close and personal, right?
Yes.
It's kind of our thing.
Yeah, totally. So here we go. When you open the door of the airlock, you can see there's kind of a large staging room at the center of which is sort of a big Vault-Tec style gear-shaped door that opens up that leads down into the heavy Soviet bunker base. Cold War style will say that this is all built like a nuclear shelter. So everything just goes down into the lunar surface under feet of rock.
Awesome.
Yeah. So there is, of course, a big, heavy, let's make this one a big, heavy, upright, steampunk style throw lever that opens up the big gear door to allow access to the base below.
Okay. And nobody's guarding it aside from the guy who got smashed in the head with a lava lamp.
The one gorilla
Okay, now
on
I'm not
this
gonna
level.
do the same mistake twice. So I searched the KO'd ape.
Okay. So
Anything of value or a clue in
there
there?
is some stuff of value. So the gorilla has a sort of a green card on him, like a magnetic security card.
A swipe card?
Yeah, like a
Is it,
swipe card, but a
okay.
big clunky, like, 1/8-inch thick one from like the
Like a
70s.
Doom card.
Yeah, like
a,
you've
do-
seen
a
the old-
Doom key card.
Yes. I long ago saw a weird documentary about the early days of the guy who started Apple and the guy who started Microsoft and the company that they would go to out in California as young men. And they had these big lanyard worn, like, 1/8-inch thick magnetic cards that would give access into certain, areas. And this is like, late 60s, early 70s when they're doing this. And so this, still pretty high tech to a 50s style thing. So the heavy magnetic card with an actual sheet of magnet inside of it, if you split it open, is their ever so cool security method that, and you get one off of
Okay, awesome.
KO'd Gorilla. All right. And
So
you're
I'll
not
carry it.
before, but it's definitely a clue.
That's a clue?
Yeah, I think so, or at least an asset. It'll come in handy later.
Okay. So there, we have a green swipe card.
Yes, green swipe card achieved. So when you throw the big giant lever, then the big 2-foot thick gear-shaped armored door rolls over to the side, revealing the big vertical tunnel leading down with a heavy Soviet steel ladder descending into the tunnel. It's lit by basket lights every like 10 feet heading down. So the whole tunnel is lit and everything. But you can see that the walls all seem to be concrete.
Okay. Marching order. We want to establish a marching order, or we're gonna randomize if anything happens.
Go
Okay,
with
we don't care.
randomizing.
Let's go with randomizing. Good. So it goes down, okay. Can we access room 3 and 4 while we're climbing down?
Absolutely, yeah. As you guys climb down, you can sort of step off onto the little ledge of, towards room 3 or towards room 4. They're definitely enough to like stand on, but it's probably like, a 1-foot ledge. However, for safety, each of these rooms also has what seems to be probably an airlock sealable door with a big lever. Like if you the lever over to the opposite side, it undoes the seal and you can open up the door. Also by just pulling on the big heavy steel lever.
Okay. Is there sound coming from one direction or the other?
Ooh, my thought is that these armored airlock doors are so heavy duty that they probably kind of block sound. In my mind, they're like big steel doors, maybe 2 or 3
Yeah,
inches.
that makes sense. That makes sense.
I was thinking, since they're all shut, it's pretty.
And we're wearing like giant bubble helmet and shit. So yeah, we probably wouldn't be able to hear anything. Okay, left or right?
Ooh, yeah.
Always go left.
Always go left.
Woo!
Yeah,
All right.
agreed.
Wow, as you move the big lever and then pull open the door. Oh wait, should the door open inwards? I guess it should open inwards. That would be the sensible way. Yeah. So push in the door inwards. That makes logical sense. Yes, indeed. You can see you have opened the door to the command center. So
Oh, yeah.
there are 2 gorillas in here. Now, here's an upside. Neither of these gorillas are carrying rifles. They seem to be an important looking gorilla in kind of a Soviet officer spacesuit.
Wow.
And a regular looking gorilla in kind of a, more of the sort of spacesuits that we see in the picture of the earlier gorillas. Imagine that the Soviet like commander gorilla has little like parade epaulettes on his spacesuit. And and maybe let's say this makes no sense. 2 stars on his little helmet, 2 like red stars. All right, so the door swings open. The Soviet gorillas see you, and well, they pretty much are pretty surprised, and it's time for initiative now because they're just gonna have to assume something bad is happening.
So what were they doing when we entered the room?
Wow, they seemed to be working on the big clunky CRT screen, computers that are here.
Okay.
These computers have like those tiny 1950s computer screens, and maybe, gosh, like they're black with just white letters on them in Cyrillic.
Are they playing asteroids?
Man, it looks like it's a Russian
Tetris.
word, so it's not a game, but
Tetris.
right?
Yeah. Okay, they're playing Tetris. That makes
That
that's
would
more
totally
thematic.
be it. So, for your team of mighty heroes, who will roll initiative this time?
Dave.
I'll do it.
Woo!
I'll do it. 2. Nah, bad luck still. Bad luck
Okay. Wow. So they come rushing over across the room. So the commander gorilla acts first. On the rush across, he picks up a kind of a metal folding chair that's in here, sort of wrestling style.
Yeah.
And he's going to open up with the folding chair. What a heel. All right.
What a heel. That's perfect. So who's the target?
Let's see. You guys have all kind of burst into the room ready for action. I'm just going to randomly roll. So let's see. We'll just do it vertically again, with the kid being number 1 and Brick Steel being number 2 and so on. And we get a 1. He comes for you, kid. My goodness. Now, it's worrisome because if he hits your glass helmet with the chair, maybe he might be able to crack it and make it difficult to return to the moon base. So, please make a acrobatics check to avoid the fight, to avoid the damage. Or in this, let me ask you, Martin, sir, could you defend with a strength check if your intent was to kind of like catch the arms of the opponent or something like that? Or is that not really how it should work?
No, it's totally possible. If you, why not?
I got a 10
you're
on my
the
acrobatics.
referee, and if you say that he's trying to catch it, I mean that makes sense to me.
All
Why
right.
not?
All right, kid. How do you want to defend? Move out of the way.
I actually rolled a 10 on my acrobatics when you said it. So when he comes up to swing, I just duck down. I kind of do that bob and weave thing. And come back up,
yes.
and I let out another goat scream right in his face.
Listen, can I have a really quick brains check?
Yes. Ooh, a 10.
Woo! The
You're
commander
on fire.
is momentarily surprised and terrified by your horrible goat scream sound. It kind of steps back a full step when you do that. He did not think that sound was going to come out of you at all. And now he's like, what is this? I guess he's yelling something in Russian. My imagination says probably most of your characters don't speak Russian.
No,
He is
I
yelling
wouldn't.
some, James Earl Jones voiced gorilla, Russian right now. When that happens, and he seems discombobulated.
He screams in subtitle.
So on his heels, the one other Soviet guerrilla has raced forward so as not to appear a coward to his comrade and will attack another random member of the crew. No, I'm re-rolling that. That's baloney. Okay, this time number 2, Rick Steele. For some reason, these gorillas seem to perceive you as a threat, sir.
I wonder why.
So the other gorilla comes for you. Please defend yourself with acrobatics or strength, sir.
9.
Woo! Okay, done. All right. So, let's see. Oh, did you use acrobatics or strength?
I used acrobatics.
Okay, so you step out of the way, ring style, from his clumsy gorilla attack, and set yourself up for a counter move when your initiative comes, which just so happens it is now the heroic team's initiative. How will we counter?
So we have the one. Is the first monkey, the first ape, still wielding a chair?
Yes.
Or did he drop it? Okay.
The commander gorilla is wielding a chair. Now, I didn't do you guys a proper service. I should have told you. Let's have a description of the room really quick, just to give you an idea of the battlefield. So in my mind, when you push open the heavy Soviet steel door, what you see in front of you, if you look at this picture slightly to our right, is there is a short entry platform, and then the room descends down, let's say 4 feet. Now, this place was built with gorillas in mind, so it's certainly big enough for all of you to stand up straight, as much as you please. It is cramped, submarine style, again, because the smaller the space, the less resources used, the easier it is to push it up into space, blah, blah, blah.
Of course.
So it's, it's pretty tight quarters, but what's in here before you? There is a short set of, let's say, like 4 stairs, regular human size. Then it's down to the command center level. And what you've got is a sort of horseshoe shape of big steel Soviet, like, naval craft control panels here. And again, though, 1950. So I want you to imagine like a just post World War II Soviet battleship and the kind of control panels it would have. There's probably like an actual ongoing radar, with the little spinning, bar in it, like detecting nothing, basically. And, and some big, instead of having a lot of blinking lights, the Soviet controls in my mind have a lot of big turn dials and thick flip switches with heavy, plastic coating covers on them. And then in Cyrillic, like labels above them, maybe an indicator light above that is like a good 1950s, like the interior light is like a vacuum tube light and that kind of thing. And so all the controls are unfortunately in Russian, and none of them make much of any sense when you look at them, unless one of your characters has some Russian. But otherwise, it's just a mess of weird, big, clunky controls. All of their, where it can be, any of their switches is a big, throw switch designed for gorilla hands, or a big lever that you can either just like, pull back or push forward, like 1920s Metropolis style. So it's got a big, heavy, hard to damage, gorilla proof steel building.
Awesome.
All right. So your battle takes place inside the horseshoe there, where there's the open space.
Okay, who wants to go first? Brick, you want to
I'll go
someone in the ground?
Yeah, I'll go first very quickly here. I'm just going to attack the ape that just tried to attack me. So I'm going to do my level 2 special move, the concrete clothesline. I'm just going to grab his right wrist with my left hand. I'm going to bring him in. I'm going to just clothesline him right in the head.
Woohoo! Do it, sir.
So
Tell
that is
about the damage.
3. It would be 7.
Sir,
that hurt. 0 point.
That hurts.
Have one.
Brick Steel KOs the Russian commander gorilla.
I thought it was the other one. Was it the commander that tried to attack me?
Oh, the commander had the chair, so it's the other guy.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. So let me rephrase that. Brick Steel KOs a Russian gorilla with a single blow.
Because the one wielding the chair attacked the kid.
That's right.
Yep.
That's
Okay.
totally right. Okay.
So, kid, you wanna go? You wanna get back at the other one? Try to knock you out.
So, what do I want to do here? Where we're level 2, I actually get 2 uses of my Superman punch, right?
Or you can use it at level 2. So that means your level is 2. The level of your special move is 2 plus either your muscles or acrobatics bonus.
All right. So yeah, I just wheel around with a Superman punch right in this other gorilla's grill and 6 damage.
All right.
And it also costs you 2 stamina.
All right.
Because it's more powerful, so it's more draining too. But if you want, if you wish to use it at a lower level, I'm going to
use it
why
too,
you couldn't.
And after I do that, you notice the goat or the kid, I put my hands on my knees and I seem like I'm getting really winded.
Yeah.
How much damage did it do again?
6.
Ooh, okay. Ooh, man, staggered. This is a pretty big gorilla. He had to be big enough to boss the other gorillas around. So he had a few more points.
So he's not out yet, but he's
definitely hurt.
Okay. Lumen, you want to deal the fatal blow? Not fatal, but I mean the last blow. the winning strike.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Lumen will go ahead and come in and just sucker punch. Well, okay, that would be a dirty 12.
Oh, okay.
So that would be for, let's see, so that'd be for 4 points of damage.
Sir,
just like me.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Lumen has punched out a gorilla with his big hands. That is it, sir. He goes down. Mighty.
Damn you, Americans.
I put my hand on that damn dirty ape.
Drago should have won.
Nice.
I don't
Woo.
remember. Did we ever specify where the kid was from?
I don't think so.
Not that I recall.
Yeah.
All right. So I've got an idea again. I'm bent down on my, like, when my hands on my knees, kind of winded.
Yeah.
And my brain flashes back to that green radiation, how it traumatizes me.
Yes,
Oh.
sir.
And
Sure.
where I'm kind of short of breath and everything, I have this flashback to when the comet hit the farm.
Ooh.
Mm.
And I just see these flashes of images. And the stuff that was written on the stalls is in Russian.
Dun dun dun.
Oh, I was actually brought up on a Russian farm and went to America to
Holy
like
cow.
fulfill my dreams.
Uh-oh.
So I all of a sudden I'm looking around and I can understand everything. It's written
This
on all
were
these
a comic
knobs.
book, this would be one of the most famous pages of this comic book in issue. Holy Jesus. Oh my God. Okay.
But it's not really my turn because Martin still has to go, and so
Woo.
Well, I mean, if they're both down, right? The fight is
okay,
over.
yes, we're out of
Well,
combat.
okay, I'll
That's
use
it. Yeah, you
my
were-
action to I'll search both because I have to loot the bodies. I'm not gonna miss out on that again.
Yes. All right.
We did it once. I'm not gonna do it again.
Yes.
So I search. I quickly search. The commander. He had a fancy suit and all with lots of pockets. He probably has something of value, right?
I would think so. He did have a fancy suit. So, on the commander is a heavy, thick, but another key card. However, it has a gold foil, like seal of the Soviet Union stamp on one side with a big red hammer and sickle on it too.
Mhm.
That is much fancier than the green card that you
Okay.
have.
Okay, so that's an that's an asset or a clue.
Ooh, it's a good question.
More than an asset, I suppose.
Yeah, let's see. I would say, yeah, let's call it an asset. You're also, the other guys are searching this whole room, right? Is that correct? Did I hear that right earlier?
You, the Soviet spy.
Well, I want
You
to.
search
I'm
the
looking.
room.
I'm
Or you
looking
reminisce
around the
about-
room, and I go over to the computer, and I start looking to see if there's any kind of self-destruct mechanism.
Well, you're looking at the right spot, and this is where you discover that there is a big key card slot, and above it is the words in Cyrillic, "Return rocket."
Mm.
And I'll even say that there is the gold foil seal of the Soviet Union underneath it, and a red hammer and sickle.
We'll use the green card.
Yeah, and it even has like a little heavy plastic flip cover over it too. That's clear.
Mhm.
What's this return rocket mean? I wonder though.
Well, as you approached, you did see a big, weird, heavy Soviet Flash Gordon style rocket.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So would return where? That would send it back to Earth.
Ooh.
That is
I've got another
probably
idea.
it. Ooh.
Is there a microphone?
Oh,
this
yes.
control?
There is absolutely a microphone here. It's a big,
Yeah.
clunky 1950s one for sure.
It's the command center.
I hit the switch.
Ooh.
But before I hit the switch, I will say, let's get them on the rocket and we'll send them back home.
Ooh.
Not sure I agree with that. I don't want to send those giant communist apes back to Earth. No. I veto that.
Fair
I
enough.
veto that very hard. We were no. Let's keep them apes on the moon for now.
Are we
They
going to go
still,
back to like a fallen Statue of Liberty and everything after this? And
well, if it's up to you, yeah.
Oh.
but I'll actually hit the button on the on the microwave. Jeez, you can tell I'm getting tired on the microphone. And in fluent Russian, I will say into the microphone, evacuate to the surface.
Wow. Okay. All right. And
I don't consult anybody. I just say it because my thought being it will get the gorillas out of wherever they are. And then they've got their spacesuits on. We could airlock them, is what I say to the group. We could get them in the airlock and then just jettison them out there.
Sir,
Okay.
I should like you. And surprisingly, this is not for the Russian, but I should like you to make a brains check to effectively do one other thing.
Well, you can tell I think Mark might have it right. He said the kid either understands Russian or is suffering from a chronic brain injury from a lifetime of headbutting and thinks he understands. I say something into the microphone because I got a 4 on my brains check.
Well,
And we don't know what the hell. No one recognizes what I said, and I don't even know what I
well,
said.
here's what I'd like to do. If you feel all right about this, I want what you said to have been grammatically perfectly correct Russian, but it was in your goat accent, and so all the gorillas who heard it were like, "What the hell is that?"
So it's just like
Exactly. It was goat Russian, and now they're all like looking at each other like, "What the hell is going on?"
Yeah, that works for me because
Shooting
I'm
star
thinking I'm
is
speaking
also
Russian.
looking.
And I turn around, and everybody else in the group is just looking at me because I just said something.
Yeah, very much so. What is going on right now?
Wow.
Should we consider
It's Russian.
putting Kid into the rocket and sending him home to Russia?
That is right.
I'm considering it.
Return. Fantastic. Man, so woo.
Yeah,
All right.
maybe we have a third problem.
It'll take some time for them to get here, but you've kind of said nothing wrong here. Have a nice day, Han Solo style at this point.
Yeah.
Get ready.
Yeah, now they know we're in the command center.
We've got company. Gorillas is coming. Time to I don't know, make any preparations you want. Or flee the room if you wish to. Although this place has one central corridor, so pretty much.
Yeah.
I actually take my helmet off and then start hitting my horns against the wall.
Okay. Oh, yes.
Somebody should probably grab that chair and use it.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It is an asset. Woo.
I got my huge stick, so somebody can grab the chair and use it.
That seems fun. I'll take the chair.
I'm
a bit puny. So.
Well, all right, got the chair. All right, so seconds tick by, and then swarming up from below, gorillas. Let's see how many for the first wave. Now, admittedly, there's a finite number of gorillas in this entire base, and it's not a ton.
Thankfully.
Yeah, yeah. And you've already taken out a number of gorillas.
So there's no gorilla cloning machine somewhere in the facility.
Oh my God, that would be so cool.
That would be awesome. Next time.
So in my mind, there has to be gorilla mating here, and they have to be teaching the next generation of gorillas the few space-based skills they have, the same way the monkeys have been doing since the 50s. So yeah.
They also managed to grow bananas somehow and gather the ingredients for making pina coladas. So
exactly. Which still haven't run out after all these years. So that's a little goofy. All right. Well, let's see how many are coming. Oh, yeah, that's manageable. All right. So, gentlemen, at first, 3 gorillas come charging into the room. Now, one of them has enough of his wits about him to be carrying an identifiable heat ray that you've seen before. So you know that, that gorilla has a heat ray.
That's not good. Yeah.
So I believe it's time for initiative. All sides were ready for attack. Let's see who acts first. Who will roll on behalf of the heroes?
I'll go for it.
All right.
4. Woo.
Woo, okay. And that's right. 4, 5, 6 wins on behalf of the heroes, if I recall correctly. And that means you swing into action. So, all right. You are down on the lower level in the big open horseshoe area, giving yourself some room to fight. One of you is now armed with a folding chair, and they come rushing in. So, who wants to do what first?
I can hit someone with the chair.
All right.
So is that bonus to attack or bonus to damage the chair?
I'm thinking, shall we count it the same as like a baseball bat?
Sure, why not?
Okay, that makes it easy. So looking in the book, we'll see that the baseball bat as an asset actually gives you, hold on, it's right here. I'm page 20 and 21. That is, hand wraps, come on, where is it? Melee weapon, baseball bat. There we go. +1 damage.
Okay. So I need to hit using strength muscles, right?
Nice, yeah.
Okay. 7, 8. I make it just on the just what I needed. So yes. So that's 2, 3, and 4 damage. Sorry.
Oh, all right, 4 damage. Now, let me know, would you like to, just for the simplicity of the little records that I'm keeping, would you like to attack Gorilla 1, Gorilla 2, or Gorilla 3?
Do they have, is there anything to different, you know what I'm trying to say? Is there anything different about them?
Yes, for Gorilla 2 is at the rear and wields the heat ray.
Okay, I'll eat the one with the heat ray for sure, because I don't want him blowing holes in our spacesuits or in the spaceship, the space station hole.
Okay, all right. So number 2, heat ray gorilla. You rush up there, and what would you like to do, sir? I know it's going to be 4. Oh, they already did it, so it's 4. You hit him with a chair.
What am I
even talking about? Okay, now that means. Oh, he takes it, but boy, he's reasonably gorilla tough. And
of course he is.
After that,
hey, we can't all be bricks, right? I'm not hitting at 7 for my regular attacks.
Woo! But yeah, that's definitely a dazing blow. So you've harmed.
And also using my most serious mom voice, I look at kid and say, "We'll talk about this at home."
Oh, nice. All right, who will go second? Oh, winners of initiative.
Who wants to go?
Who's it gonna be?
I can
All right,
go
I'll
quickly.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Nope, go for it. All right. Well,
Yeah,
I'm banging my horns like really fast at first against the wall,
Ooh.
and I start to slow down. And then I
Uh-oh.
turn and I look at ape number 2 with the heat gun. And with a thick Russian accent, I say to him, "In Mother Russia, the goat run the farm." And I put my horns down and I just do this bull rush at him, and I'm going to try to spear him.
All right.
Nice. Roll 2, hit, attack, attack, attack.
Ooh, I got a 9. I just hit.
Yes.
So that is going to be 1, 2, 4 damage.
Perfect. Your twin attacks have taken out the dangerous heat ray wielding gorilla. He tumbles under the headbutt attack of the mighty kid, and he's down.
Awesome. So he drops his ray gun.
Drop the heat ray gun, and the others are just there to fight you with their bare hands, naval sailor style.
I'll attack number 1 quickly with my giant stick.
Oh yes, the giant stick! Woohoo!
So that's
that does +1 damage.
That's a 10 to hit.
Yes.
7.
Woo! That gorilla is knocked cold by your giant stick blow and falls to the deck unconscious among his 2 already fallen comrades from when you first rushed in here and started punching people in the mouth.
I love my giant stick. It always bashes everybody so good.
Oh, this would be a great comic book. Okay. Well, I think that there's still one more attack left on the part of the mighty Lucha Heroes. What shall it be, sir?
Yeah, so Lumen will attack the one that is still standing.
All right.
Just come in. He's going to try to vindicate himself and do the jump kick and hopefully not miss this time.
Nice.
Let's go.
Okay. I got an 11 on that. So
yeah. All right.
And that's 4 points of damage.
Hell yeah. Second level characters rock. All right.
Yeah, it makes a difference.
He takes that blow and is staggered back by it. He's still up, but that was a significant attack against him.
Yeah,
now,
he felt it.
About this gorilla, he has kind of what I want to describe as maintenance coverall spacesuit on.
Okay.
You know, it's more kind of baggy than the other ones you might remember from the picture.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks like kind of a repair guy or an engineer. That's it, like a naval engineer kind of look to
him. Maintenance / engineer. Yeah, he repairs and see that. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Now he is pretty burly too. He's definitely got big, heavy gorilla arms. Matching some of your guys' massive wrestler arms too. All right, gentlemen.
So now it's his time to attack.
His attack. So he, having been staggered back by a flying kick, will kind of recover himself, and he'll throw just a heavy swing and just try to punch you. Lumen, you're standing right there after having kicked the crap out of him. And please make an acrobatics check, or if you prefer a strength check if you wish to block it, and try to avoid the damage.
Okay. Roll double 6s. So.
Woo!
Oh, that's an extra hero point for you right there.
Points, sir. Nice. So, yeah, you're not taking it. The gorilla is surprised to see just a mortal man stop his mighty haymaker swing. And you see him kind of like take a little half step back, like, whoa. as that happens. All right, it is a new round, and that means the Luchador heroes recommence their mighty assault. There is just one remaining gorilla. But wait, more gorillas are filing in. Rolled earlier.
That figures.
And this time, unfortunately, 4 more run into the room.
Oh, hot damn. Okay.
Before we get going, Martin, if you get boxcars, do you get to do a counterattack?
Oh,
Yeah, sure. Yeah. You get to do a counterattack. That's
Okay.
absolutely right.
sir, I owe you an apology.
Oh,
And I
that's okay. Let's just finish this one off, hopefully, before.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, so I
Crucial
rolled
rule
a
like that.
7, and I'm going to use a resolve point to take it to 8. So that would be
Yes.
4 more points of damage.
4 more points.
Oh, he is barely on his feet.
Oh,
That's well.
I'll tell you guys, just in a little bit of a meta way. This burly gorilla started with 11. He rolled almost the maximum points a 2-hit dice foe can have.
Ooh.
So he's taken 4 twice and is down to just 3. But he was by far the strongest one you faced, even stronger than the commander, really. He was
That's
more
a
of
tough mofo.
a down-to-earth, brute fighter like you guys.
Yeah. We'll call him Caesar.
Yeah, we'll call him Caesar. He's taking some smacks and he's still coming. Some real smacks. Whew, okay, so, all right, that's one mighty blow to Caesar. Now, what? Let me quickly. Actually, who's going to attack next? You guys have the initiative.
Well, since we know that Caesar has 3 points left, I'm going to try to finish him with the chair.
All right, yes.
Here's the chair.
Yes.
And that's 8, so success. And I deal 4 damage, which is enough to take him out.
Yeah.
So I hit him on the head with the chair, and we see his face mask, the glass bubble shatters, and he starts gasping for air. And then I kick him in the chest, so he's out of the ring.
Woo! Nice. And he crumples down. He's out. All right, gentlemen. Woo! Let's see. So, into the door leading to the big central corridor, more gorillas have clambered into the room. And now these guys, none of them have a heat rifle. And so, fortunately, it's mano a mano against these guys here. And I believe that, what is it now? 2 of you still have attacks left. Am I right?
3.
Oh,
I'm the only one that attacked this time.
yes. Okay, perfect.
So there's 3 of us that still haven't attacked.
All right, men. So, 4 opponents array themselves out before you. Big, big brawl style in the ring. Man, I'll describe them as one of them has kind of a radiation hazmat suit on, and he looks, reasonably regular gorilla sized. And another one of them has a kind of a regular spacesuit like the others, but he has a tool belt on, which has like plumbing hardware or plumbing tools on it, like a regular plumber would have. And the other 2 are just in those regular unidentifiable spacesuits that potentially suggest what they do at all. But one has like a radiation suit and the other clearly has a plumber's tool belt on.
Is there a plunger on it?
Oh wait.
Well, he's as a plumber, he ought to have one, right?
All 4 of these gorillas are, I don't know, I was going to say women, female gorillas. So I guess they don't look super different from the male gorillas, but let's just say there's, I don't know, gorilla boobs of some sort or something. So finally, you've beaten up all the men, and the women have come up to pound you with their giant gorilla arms. All right. Who's going to do what? They are arrayed here, and they look ready to smack.
I can attack quickly. I'll try to delete the radiation guy. I'm just going to try to smash him right in the head with the big stick.
All right.
Yeah.
She sees you coming, and you can see her getting ready, gorilla style.
So that's 7. I'll use a resolve to get to an 8.
Woo, nice. All right.
And that's another 7 damage.
Oh my god.
And she's out. All right. Big stick knocking another gorilla out. I would like to say an amazing feat, and it is quite impressive. She is down. And that was radiation suit. Got it. Okay. Who's next?
I already played, so it's up to the kid or Lumen.
Woo! How about it, gentlemen?
Go for it, Lumen.
Go ahead, hit a lady, okay?
Okay.
This would be weird in the Lucha ring, but I do have to say, they definitely have 22-inch arms.
Yeah.
They're all muscle mummies.
The episode of The Simpsons when Mr. Burns is showing off his gorilla vest.
Oh my god, that's right. Holy cow, that is a callback, man. Nice.
Yeah. So it's just going to do like maybe let's see, not a special move, but we'll just say it just jumps into a head scissors, flying head scissors, just because of the low gravity. Wants to exploit this and see what happens.
Which of the remaining gorilla women would you like to attack?
We're going for the plumber, but I missed, and it's
isn't that a special move? No, it's just
no. I was just saying as a regular move. Yeah.
Okay, you were just describing what you.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, kid, you are the last of the mighty heroes to make their attack before they array themselves.
Go ahead, comrade.
That's right.
So I stand there and I start counting all the gorillas laying on the ground. And I put up, that's going to be what, like 7 now, right? I think. And I put up 8 fingers. And in what I think again is fluent Russian, I just say, "You should leave now." So do you want me to do a brains check again?
I do want you to do a brains check, sir.
I got 6, and I'm going to spend 2 resolve points to bring that to an 8.
Woo! Okay.
Yeah, and by leaving, it's not take the shuttle back to Earth. It's leave the facility, the room.
If you insist.
Oh, I very do so.
So, the kind of burly non-plumber Russian female gorilla knot points her finger at you, and she begins to speak, and then Russian is coming out of her little gorilla chest plate, speaker.
Yep.
And all right, so you understand that what she says is, "You will never take our babies, We will spill the last drop of our blood. You know, we comrades, and she gestures towards the other gorilla with her, in defense of the children of I don't know, what would they call it? They wouldn't call themselves the Red Empire, but the children of the great Soviet Union.
And I will say
The other gorilla is nodding.
I'll say back to her in what I think again is I kind of lose my posture a little bit, and I tilt my head, and I just say, "Go to your children" in Russian.
They look at each other, and both of them back out of the room, like ready to fight, hands up. But they back out of the room, and they'll climb down the ladder behind them, like eyes on you the whole time as they descend down the ladder.
And is there another hatch there?
Deeper down there is a hatch. You saw when you guys were descending to this first level, there is a deeper hatch leading even lower into the facility.
And I yell down, "Close the hatch."
Ooh, all right. Okay.
Okay, so there's a nursery somewhere in this space station. Okay, we're not after babies, right?
No, that's why I was telling them, like, go to the kids.
Yeah.
And I look at you guys. I look back up at the group, and I say they have their babies. Where to leave them alone?
I don't want to destroy. Of course, I don't want to harm babies, but I also don't want to quit. Leave it here before we're sure that they're not a threat anymore.
We could send the rocket back empty.
Ooh, but that would leave them stranded here on the moon.
But that doesn't fix the monkey ape war. But that's sending the rocket back is good because it prevents them from going back to Earth, of course. So I'm all for it. But we also have to make sure that the gorillas and the monkeys stop fighting and stop attacking each other. What do you say? Well, I think we should investigate the rest of the station, but of course we're not going to harm their babies.
I think we have to confirm that there are in fact children too. These people could be full of shit and not telling the truth.
Yeah. After all, they're fucking communists. So
because if there's no babies, we're making a blow off with one of those rifles like we did to the other place.
They probably already drank all the blood from the babies.
We should just be blowing the station up. We really should just be doing that.
Let's keep it as last resort.
Well, you've kind of only explored one room of this facility. So there's even another big room on this floor that you can go across to. So, there's still a bit of looking around to do, but you have at least punched out every adult male gorilla
punched out
on this facility.
Yeah, let's secure them.
Yes.
But because it's getting late, it's almost midnight. Maybe it would be a good place to stop for today, or maybe do a last room. If you're a game to do another room, I'm up for it too. But maybe we should save some for later, because obviously we're not gonna finish the whole mission tonight. Do you want to do another room, or you want to pause it for this week?
How about it, gentlemen?
I've honestly been fighting falling asleep.
Yeah, I
Fair.
know
Up
that
since
Matt,
five.
Matt is also tired. I also saw that he was fighting, falling asleep earlier, and it's late for everybody. So maybe between two rooms is a good time to call it quits.
Yeah.
And
Let's-
so next time we'll know that we only explore room 3, and we
Yes.
have all the other rooms to explore, and we won't be healed and regain our hero points and resolve points, because
Sorry, guys.
it's all part of the same mission, right?
We're
Unless
just
you
sort
say
of
otherwise.
pausing mid adventure. So
Yeah, like,
It's
we're
like the
in a
tracking on the
video game. We
screen from
just
the.
save.
yeah,
We hit pause on the VCR, and the tracking on the screen is all wonky now.
Yes.
Yes.
And what was I going to say?
taking a break right now isn't an awful thing because it gives us a chance offline to think about the fact that we may have a Pinko commie Soviet double agent working within the ranks.
Yeah, that's also that's
circle of
also an
vast
interesting
titans.
and new factor.
I said maybe. We're not sure.
Woo!
We're
And
not
also,
sure.
if you guys want,
I think Lumen needs to get on that right away and figure it out.
Yeah, do some
We need our biggest
investigating
brains
behind the scene.
we can certainly start earlier in the day next time too, if you want. I don't want
Absolutely,
to kind
absolutely.
of give more time. If you guys would like, it was just very convenient, 7 Central, 8 p.m. Eastern this particular time, but I can always start sooner if you guys want to.
Yeah, I'm flexible.
All
I'm
right.
flexible.
Yeah.
Well,
Let
all
me
right
pause
then.
this.
I'll also try to make a nice little write-up, a little bit to go in the comments of this video and everything to just kind of we'll talk later about when we can next meet and follow up on the remaining rooms.
Yeah.
All right.
Super stoked, and it was so much fun. Thank you, Dave, for
Yeah.
My
putting
pleasure.
for putting this up, and thank you, Eric, for the super fun
It's
adventure.
an amazing
I had a
game.
blast.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Thanks to
Yeah.
Eric and Dave for making it happen, as always.
Yes.
Yep.
And
Very
thanks
much.
to Lou and Mark and everyone for tuning in.
Yeah, in the
totally.
chat,
Woo!
And Mark, he asked earlier, what's going on with the Kickstarter for Lucha Libre Extravaganza issue number 1? And I just received the boxes of zines today. I had a quick watch. They look great, and I will start shipping them next week. So
Nice.
for all of you backed the zine, you will get your physical copies very soon. And I'm very happy with how they turned out. So it won't be long.
Can't
The
wait.
wait is almost over.
Fantastic.
All right.
Awesome.
Well, thanks everyone, and everybody have
everyone.
a great night. And we hope you'll tune in for part 2 of season 2,
Yes.
chapter 2.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
That was awesome.